touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but in the 5-game losing streak has only 3 touchdown throws. Solid as a starter in Buffalo and now in San Diego, and of course great years in the Canadian Football League. On first down, tosses to LaDainian Tomlinson, and the rookie picks up 3 to the 35-yard line. Carlos Emmons makes the tackle, and here are the starters for San Diego. Up front, it's McIntosh, Roundtree, Jaycox, Graham, and Parker. And in the backfield, the young Tomlinson looking for a 1,000-yard mark today. McCrary, the blocker, Graham and Conway, the veteran wideouts, and Freddie Jones back in the lineup. He's healthier than he's been in a month. Mike Riley in his 3rd season with San Diego. 2nd down and 7. It's Tomlinson again. Looks for a block. There is none, and he's smothered after a 2-yard gain as Jeremiah Trotter leads the charge from his middle linebacking position. Defensively, Whiting back in the lineup after being out 3 weeks with a hamstring. Simon and Thomas inside. Hugh Douglas, the veteran, has 7.5 sacks. Caldwell, Trotter, a Pro Bowler last year, and Emmons are the backers. And what a secondary they have. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass. Vincent and Taylor at the corners. Dawkins and Moore inside. Andy Reid, he's brought a winning program to Philadelphia. Fans cheering him more and more with each Eagle success. 3rd down 5. First throw by Flutie into traffic, incomplete. Conway is the closest white jersey. It looked as if Bobby Taylor got one of those long arms in there to break it up.
Well, of course, Bobby Taylor, really a tall quarterback at 6'3", but a perfectly thrown ball by Doug Flutie, and that's a ball on the road in that type of situation. Curtis Conway is paid to make that catch. That's a disappointing start for the Chargers offensively to have a chance for a much-needed first down and to just give it away with a drop pass.
Microcosm of the last 5 games.
Absolutely.
Can't make the play on 3rd down. Darren Bennett to punt, one of the all-time greats in the NFL, and he drives one with the win, apparently, to Brian Mitchell. Mitchell fields at the 5, has some blocks now to the 20. Mitchell to the 30, and tackled at the 38-yard line. Deion Humphrey made the stop, and Mitchell, who might well pass the 20,000-yard mark in combined yards today, and he'd be only the 3rd all-time, gets 33 on that punt return. Donovan McNabb from Syracuse, the 2nd player picked in '99 after Tim Couch. And as we have already chronicled, his 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, outstanding, and he can beat you with his legs as well. 339 yards running, over a 6-yard average. Throws complete to Todd Pinkston on the quick wideout, and he is tackled at the 43-yard line, a gain of nearly 6. Philadelphia offensively, their starters line up this way. Huge tackles, 340-pound average. Trey Thomas and John Runyon, with Walburn, Fraley, and Mayberry inside. In the backfield, Deuce Staley, despite that injured shoulder, wearing a harness. Martin the blocker, Pinkston and Thrash the wide receivers. Chad Lewis led the NFC tight ends in catches a year ago, has 28 this season. 2nd down, Donovan McNabb throwing long, and is it roll the catch? Yes, he dropped it when he was out of bounds. Rodney Harrison argues, but Staley had possession long enough, and you hear the cry deuce from the fans at the Vet.
Well, this angle ought to give us a perfect look at it. Look at the protection for McNabb and Staley. I don't think he ever had possession of that football. I don't think he ever firmly put it away. Not the way the NFL wants you to do it. Boy, that's San Diego might want to take a peek at that one.
They didn't. And here's McNabb. They didn't challenge it.
Oh, I sure would have.
McNabb to the end zone. And it's incomplete. Intended for James Thrash. Ryan McNeil, the veteran, on the coverage, and here's the starting lineup for the Chargers. Wiley and Johnson are the pass rushers, with Carson and veteran Perella clogging up the inside. Good defense against the run, the Chargers. Dixon, Ruff, and the all-pro junior Sao at linebacker. Davis Sanchez, his first NFL start. Beckett and Harrison at safety and Ryan McNeil at the corner. 2nd and 10 at the 29. Staley hit in the backfield, breaks the tackle, and then is dropped. Seau slowed him down, and Ruff finished him off. A loss for Philadelphia on the carry of about 2.
Well, it was a rushed Philadelphia offense that got up to the line, gave Mike Riley very few seconds, Dick, to make a decision whether to challenge that reception by Deuce Staley. But I sure have to feel that if it would have been reviewed, that it would have been overturned.
It's 3rd and 13. Freddie Mitchell in as a slot. And McNabb steps up and fires down the middle. Caught and tackled at the 1. James Thrash. McNeil with a stop. 1st and goal. Eagles at the 1.
Well, you talked about a microcosm of their season. Number 80, Curtis Conway for San Diego, doesn't come up with the catch, but number 80 for Philadelphia does. James Thrash, this ball hard to hit because he's got to wait for it a little bit. All hands, and he fights off the defender and makes a superior catch. And thus, a winning football team and a losing football team in one little scenario.
4 shots from the 1-yard line to take the early lead. McNabb fakes to Staley, throws, touchdown to the tight end Chad Lewis.
Well, that play action, that throws San Diego so completely. Donovan McNabb could have had a cheesesteak while he was waiting for that play to develop. And he threw it when he felt like it, not when he had to.
And Lewis had a chance to wipe off his shin with a napkin or two before he caught it. His 4th touchdown of the season. That was almost too easy for the Eagles. Akers, the try for point. And David Akers gives the Eagles the early lead, 7-0. They go 63 yards in 6 plays. Chad Lewis, a free agent out of Brigham Young University, produces again for the Eagles. His 4th touchdown catch as Philadelphia has the early lead, 7-0. Took them, well, there's only 4 minutes, 11 seconds expired here in this opening period as Akers has it teed up. Ronnie Jenkins with 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns this year. Had a kickoff return touchdown as a rookie a season ago. And he takes it at the 2. Spreads his way out to the 23-yard line, and Doug Flutie and the Chargers will try to generate a drive from there.
Sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Beechwood aged Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Back in the city of brotherly love, it's 7-0 Philadelphia, and the fans loving the Eagles more and more.
Here's Chad Lewis right here, Dick. Watch, he almost gets tackled here by Rogers Beckett, but watch this play action by Donovan McNabb. I'm not sure more than 1 or 2 players on the Chargers even know that he's standing back there holding the football. That fake was so good it froze everybody.
From the 22, Flutie in trouble, has to throw it away. Was looking for Conway to break open on the near sidelines, but well covered by Troy Vincent.
One more look at that touchdown. We're going to take a good look at the play fake. Watch the fake here to Deuce Staley following the lead block of Cecil Martin, and it just everyone from San Diego is buried by the Eagles offensive line, and McNabb with all the time in the world for Lewis to fight through the hold and then find an opening in the end zone.
2nd and 10. Tim Dwight is in the slot. That's Freddie Jones in motion, the tight end. Flutie fires down the middle to Dwight, and he's got the catch at the 44. No, did not come down with it. Incomplete at the 44, and it was the hit by Brian Dawkins that denied.
And this is open for Tim Dwight, and look, Flutie puts the ball right there. He's got to elevate for it. He tries to put it away. He knows the big hit from Dawkins is coming. Oh, and just as he brings it down to his midsection, Dawkins pops it loose. And that's exactly the way you want your free safety to come over and deliver the big hit.
Dwight back in the lineup a week ago against Seattle after missing several games with a collapsed lung. Terrell Fletcher now in the backfield on 3rd and 10. Against the league's top defense. The throw is complete, and a first down for San Diego is Jeff Graham, the veteran who played here in Philadelphia 3 years ago, had 47 catches for the Eagles in 1998, and he has the first reception for the Chargers today.
Well, you see right there the corner blitz. That means it's a one-on-one back into the secondary for Jeff Graham, and Dawkins, the safety, has to try to play that hook pattern, but Dawkins, knowing he has nobody behind him, can't really come up in front and make a play on the football. You got to almost give up that reception rather than give up the long game breaker for a touchdown.
16 yards for the first down, San Diego. The toss to Tomlinson, trying to get outside, and nothing there. Swarmed by the midnight green of the Eagles, and joining us down on the field, Bonnie Bernstein.
Good afternoon, Dick. Well, the Chargers know they're basically going to have to run the table to get a shot at the playoffs. So this week, Mike Riley kind of changed his approach with his players. He told the younger guys, remember, from here on out, everything you do, you're going to be evaluated. So try to establish an identity for yourself. For the veterans, he said, understand we do have a good team and keep trying to improve. And he said he was very encouraged to practice that despite the team's record, the veterans took the lead and worked very hard with a lot of enthusiasm.
Riley, things are getting tougher for him, and critics, of course, with the 5-game losing streak, have increased in number in San Diego. The throw short is incomplete, intended for Fred McGrary, who was a Eagle draft pick back in '95. He's the blocking back for San Diego. And here's a fella that was out of football for a year and went back to New Orleans, a security guard at a maximum prison. He said, where I heard screams all day and all night at $12.50 an hour. He said, you think I don't appreciate the chance to play football for fun and my salary? He says he still has his uniform, security guard uniform, in his closet to remind him every day how fortunate he is. 3rd and 9. The throw to Graham is caught, and now he can streak for a touchdown with only Dawkins to beat, and the Chargers get a fortunate carom as Graham outfights the Eagle defense for the ball, and the Chargers get a long touchdown, 61 yards.
Well, it's Dawkins and it is Troy Vincent, the two defensive backs who are right at the point of attack. I think it actually hits Troy Vincent in the back and bounces it up into the air. Carom's right to Jeff Graham. Boy, it is. Vincent had his back turned, never saw the football, and it looked like it bounced right off his shoulder pads up into the air, and Graham alertly stayed with the ball.
The extra point by the veteran Steve Christie, the former Buffalo Bill, ties the game. What?
Graham actually dug that ball out. That is one of the better catches you will ever see.
A Charger pickpocket, Jeff Graham. Veteran Jeff Graham with a spectacular catch and touchdown run, and that ends the Eagle streak of not having allowed a point in the first quarter in the last 5 games. 7-7. A high short kick by Ritchie. Brian Mitchell brings it out across the 25 and the 32-yard line, stopped by McCrary and Lloyd Harrison. Let's go back. How did Graham catch this ball?
A catch that will be seen on every sports show in America tonight. It hits Troy Vincent right in the back. Jeff Graham goes all the way over the back of Vincent and comes up. Watch this angle right here. Troy Vincent has no idea where this football is. It caroms off his shoulder pads. Graham, without even seeing the ball, fishes it out of there and takes off with it. That might be the most phenomenal catch I've seen this year.
Quick throw is complete to Todd Kingston, but tackled immediately by Davis Sanchez. And Sanchez, in his first ever NFL start, he was the leading pass interceptor in the Canadian League last year at Montreal, had 9. And you can see they're trying to set up something against Sanchez. That's twice they've gone to that short quick pass to the sidelines.
Well, rookie Tay Cody had been starting there, out with the ankle. They've already lost Alex Molden with a bad ankle, so they're thin in the secondary. Rodney Harrison has been hurt off and on this year with knee and ankle injury, so it's been a struggle.
Loss on that play, and there's a throw toward the Sanchez area, and it's broken up. Staley, the running back, the deep swing, and then down the sidelines, and Sanchez able to get a hand in there. Rodney Harrison there as well.
Well, deuced out in the pattern again. Take a look at this downfield here. It's a good look. Great alley right there. There's a little pop.
Yeah, it's Rodney Harrison who was on the coverage of Staley out of the backfield.
Well, Rodney Harrison is just a nasty cuss. And you know something? That's exactly what you want your strong safety to be. Rodney will hit you. Mike Riley said, you know, here's a guy playing safety who would rather be a linebacker.
On third down, the throw down the middle is incomplete, intended for Freddie Mitchell, and Rogers Beckett was right there for San Diego, so 3 and out for Philadelphia.
Well, Freddie Mitchell's a rookie, but I'll guarantee you that he's heard of Rodney Harrison because he acted like a guy right there in the middle who'd heard of number 37.
Mike Riley said that Harrison's had a Pro Bowl year despite the fact he hasn't had a pass intercepted. He said he just played a better all-around game against both the run and the pass.
Freddie Mitchell looked like a guy who was more in survival mode than he was in a reception mode.
Tim Dwight back for the punt return. He took one for a touchdown as an Atlanta Falcon against the Eagles last year. Won't get a chance on this occasion as the punt goes out of bounds off the foot of veteran Sean Landeta. Santa enjoying himself.
He's sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider, and by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms with the Jets and Steelers later today, and Phil has some thoughts about the 3-4 defense. He thinks more teams should use it. Find out why. Log on to NFL.com. Go to NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. First down, San Diego tied at 7, middle of this opening quarter. And the give goes inside to LaDainian Tomlinson. It's 7-all here in Philadelphia. Jim Nance, what do you have for us?
Well, it's Heisman weekend, as you know, Dick. In fact, Paul Horning's in the studio right now watching the games with us. And we just saw Eddie George, a Heisman winner himself, take it 13 yards to give the Titans the lead at Minnesota. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, thank you, Jim. The Golden Boy there in New York at CBS.
One of the all-time good guys.
He didn't have enough fun in his life, did he? Flutie off play action and then throws back complete to Tim Dwight. He's got a blocker at the 40. Plenty of speed, and Dwight all the way to the Philadelphia 45-yard line before Brian Dawkins can bump him out of bounds. That was well set up.
Boy, it certainly was. It certainly was well set up because you want to get it to the guy with the speed. Let's go ahead and roll this thing, and you're going to get a good look. It looks the good fake to the right-hand side, and then Dwight just floats away after holding up his blocker a little bit. But from here, all he needs is one block, and then he outruns 3 different Eagles and is corralled at the sideline by the 4th. But he was past the 3 Eagles who even had good angles on him.
They spot him out of bounds at the 47. They go back to almost the same play. This time to Tomlinson instead of Dwight, and he has about 9 yards inside the 40 of the Eagles before Hollis Thomas can chase him down from behind along with Carlos Emmons.
Well, a couple of play callers in this game who love the screen. Of course, Andy Reid calls the plays for the Eagles, but Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator for San Diego, exactly the same way. It's a big part of this offense. It's a big part of this offense, running screens and the timing. And there is Norv Turner right there, the former head coach of the Washington Redskins and coordinator in Dallas for so many years, and one of the game's really good coaches.
Short yardage for Flutie, and he's going to go long for Conway. Almost deflected into Conway's hands by Troy Vincent. And Vincent has already been burned on that sensational play by Graham. Nearly deflected that one to Conway.
Well, the difference between the two is that time Troy Vincent was looking back and saw the football. I think he said, I'm not going to allow one to bounce off my back. Troy times his leap. Looks like he went up maybe just a smidge early to get that ball. He's on his way back down when the ball actually makes contact with his hand. But well played by Troy Vincent.
Flutie having trouble getting the call in, so he calls time. It's 3rd and 1 when we return to Philadelphia. Tied at 7 with just under 6 minutes left in the opening quarter here at the Vet. And the Eagles, with the #1 pass defense in the league, have seen the Chargers rack up 115 yards early. 61 on the touchdown to Graham. Couple of successful screens. It's 3rd and 1 at the 38. Tomlinson hit the backfield, fumbles the ball, and this is Brian Dawkins chased by Tomlinson, and Dawkins has a touchdown. Brian Dawkins, a Pro Bowler a year ago, as Tomlinson, and this has been the Achilles of the Chargers all season. 3rd and 1, can't make the first down. They wind up fumbling it, and the Eagles get a touchdown.
And I think Tomlinson was dropping the ball before Dawkins got there. I don't think it was a hit that knocked it out. We'll take a close look at it, but it looked to me like LaDainian Tomlinson never put the ball away. And then it just one-hopped right up to Brian Dawkins.
Akers with the extra point, and the Eagles take a 14-7 lead on a 49-yard return by Brian Dawkins. A year ago, he had 4 interceptions and 6 forced fumbles. Got a couple of touchdowns defensively in his career.
Well, Doug Flutie makes a good pitch right into the hands of Tomlinson, and he boots the, looked like, did it hit his knee? It looked like he kicked the ball out, and then look at the bounce as it hops up right to Brian Dawkins. And LaDainian Tomlinson, without ever being touched by a Philadelphia player, surrenders the football, and a great hop right to Brian Dawkins. Yeah, this will really, does he hit it with his knee? Yes, his left knee, his left leg. He was carrying the ball very low, and his left knee or thigh hit the football and knocked it right out of his hands. Boy, don't you start to see these kind of plays in December, Dick, where the teams that are losing seem to have bad breaks, although they certainly got a great break on the touchdown to Jeff Graham. But Mike Riley has been seeing this for the last 6 weeks. First 7, that's how you win. You're in plus territory, and that's how you lose. You turn it over.
They're 5-2 in those first 7 games when they had that advantage in the turnover table. Ronnie Jenkins waits, and Akers sends a spinner toward the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds. A win forcing that one wide as he hooked it out of play, and the Chargers will get good field position as they'll come up and mark the ball at the 40-yard line.
That's one of the biggest penalties in sports, when you kick it out of bounds on a kickoff, because it comes all the way to the 40-yard line. Very few kickoff returns make it to the 40-yard line. That is very punitive when you boot it, when you kick it out of bounds.
In fact, the Chargers have the best record in the league, 32-yard line, their start after a kickoff.
Hey, thanks for backing me up there.
Right. +8 on that. Don't miss an amazing Thursday on CBS, beginning with an all-new Survivor, and only 8 tribe members left. Stay tuned on Thursday night on CBS. The throw is an intercepted trap by Troy Vincent.
Well, they was trying to go to Curtis Conway, and Curtis was on the ground. You know, Doug Flutie's throwing to a point. Unfortunately, his receiver was flat on the ground. Curtis complaining that he was knocked to the ground.
There's Freddie Jones as Vincent sees that ball coming, and the short hops.
Yeah, Freddie Jones was not the intended receiver on that play. Curtis Conway was the intended receiver. We couldn't see it in that shot, him falling down.
2nd and 10, 14-7 Eagles, and a very unusual scoring parade in this first quarter. Tomlinson, something to prove now, and the rookie breaks a tackle, runs over the umpire, and has a first down at the Eagle 48-yard line. And you can see from that reaction, mad at himself for that fumble that cost San Diego a score.
Well, he's going to have to put together an awful lot of good runs. He follows some really good blocking, and then it's all cutback. It's all natural ability now. But right there, he runs into an Eagle, runs into one of his own guys, Curtis Conway, caroms off an official. See, this is why he's the 5th pick in the draft. This, you can't coach that. You can't teach it. You can't talk about it. You can't do anything except draft a guy who has those God-given abilities.
On first down, Flutie to the sidelines, and it's caught by Jeff Graham, and Graham appears to have another first down at the Philadelphia 38-yard line. Bobby Taylor on the coverage.
Well, the Chargers are coming out and filling the air with footballs without any respect to this league's leading pass defense. Windy conditions on the road, losers of 5 in a row, and all of a sudden the Bolts here are coming out looking like the Rams, throwing the ball all over the field.
Coming back. Empty. Tomlinson is sent out wide left, empty backfield, and McCrary to the right. Is an unusual formation. And Flutie then throws underneath, incomplete. Freddie Jones, the tight end, was the closest Charger receiver. Here's Jones, who has been plagued by a bad ankle most of the season. Last year, 71 catches to lead the team, only 23 this year. They missed his contribution.
Well, and a surprise to everyone, their play breakdown to this point, Dick, 12 passes against 6 runs for San Diego so far here in the first quarter. So Norv Turner throwing a pretty sizable curveball at the Philadelphia Eagles right now. The big hook.
Again, empty backfield, and the throw to Tomlinson. That didn't fool Philadelphia at all. And there to smother the play was Ike Reese. Reese saw it coming, or was it Caldwell? Mike Caldwell was able to read it and hit Tomlinson before he could take a step.
No chance whatsoever for LaDainian Tomlinson. A little variation of the old bubble screen, trying to get a couple blockers immediately out in front. No go.
A loss of 4, 3rd and 14. Tomlinson out, and Terrell Fletcher, the veteran from Wisconsin, in. That loss takes San Diego out of field goal range, and Flutie now. Good protection, throws down the middle, intercepted. Flag is down as the pick made by Bobby Taylor, and if it counts, it's his first of the year.
Well, the flags are in the backfield of the Chargers, and it's almost certainly going to go against San Diego.
Holding against San Diego, and of course the Eagles will accept the interception by Taylor.
70 off him. Penalty is declined. First down, Philadelphia.
Well, Bobby Taylor, the cornerback, is going to play perfect underneath coverage. Number 21 right there in the middle of your screen, sitting back in his zone, but he's inside of Tim Dwight and able to just sit and look at Doug Flutie. And for some reason, Flutie missed him, and that's hard to do. Bobby Taylor at 6'3", not an easy cornerback to lose in the secondary. He's a big man.
Former Notre Dame star, and they feel, despite the fact that was his first interception, that he's playing Pro Bowl caliber. To the 30-yard line goes Staley. Short yardage, Mike Mooring and others with a tackle. For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Now Flutie, first 7 games when they went 5-2, threw only 3 interceptions, and in the last 5 games plus this one, 9 picks. Tony Stewart, the tight end, in motion, and they throw towards Stewart, incomplete. Too tall on the throw from Donovan McNabb. Dixon putting on the pressure. Let's go for an update to New York.
All right, this one out of Foxborough. Cleveland and New England tied at 3 when Brady is picked off here. Corey Fuller, the former Viking, will return it 49 yards for the touchdown and the 10-3 Cleveland lead. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, thanks, Jim. And boy, the Brown defense, they're young, but they are really a bunch of thefts in that deep secondary. 3rd down 8. 5 defensive backs. McNabb throws incomplete. He had to get rid of it as the Chargers came with a corner blitz. Davis Sanchez, and the Eagles will have to punt it. On comes Sean Landeta. Landeta and Flutie can commiserate on experiences no one else in the NFL have. They are graduates of the U.S. FL.
They go way back.
The Generals and the Stars. Landeta for the Philadelphia Baltimore Stars, and Flutie played with the New Jersey Generals.
And Landeta about 3 weeks away from turning 40.
Sends an awkward-looking spiral to Dwight. Fields at the 28 and takes it to the 38-yard line, and that's where the Chargers will put it in play. 42-yard punt, 11-yard return, and a reminder Tuesday on CBS. He's a hotshot lawyer with a lot of ambition and a responsibility to the disadvantaged. Now he's getting something he never had, competition. Don't miss an all-new episode of the season's highest-rated new drama, The Guardian, Tuesday on CBS. And a reminder, big CBS doubleheader day. The Jets, Pittsburgh, or Kansas City at Oakland in the second half of our doubleheader. First down, Flutie and the Chargers trailing by 7. It's to Tomlinson, breaks one tackle. A lot of work just to get back to the line of scrimmage where the Eagles are waiting for him. Bonnie, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, Andy Reid was telling us he really thought Bobby Taylor was one of the more unsung players on the Eagles defense. He said everybody thought he wasn't getting his job done because he didn't have any interceptions, but he's so much more a part of the defense. He's like, he makes huge plays on third down, and when we put him in a nickel, he always has the ability to take the receiver away.
Recruited to play basketball out of high school by the University of Michigan. Went to Notre Dame and started in football. Flutie scrambles, throws to the sideline. Conway, was he inbounds? Yes, they call it a catch at the 44. It'll be 3 yards short of a first down.
I know Troy Vincent is saying, man, this is an active first quarter I'm having here. Again, he's involved over on the sideline as they're working his side of the field. Good body position by Curtis Conway, though, maintaining his position right on the sideline, getting his feet in there. And Troy Vincent's going to need a hot shower. Take a look at Curtis Conway and the year that he's having. Much appreciated in this San Diego passing game.
Third down and a long 2. Flutie throws it ahead, wide open, but the wind catches it, and it's too short for Freddie Jones, the tight end. He was 8 yards in the clear, but Flutie on the run couldn't get the ball to him.
Unless your name is Elway, who wore that number proudly, running like that and then floating it back to the middle of the field, more often than not, results in disaster. And this ball is second. It leaves Doug Flutie's hand, has disaster written all over it.
Bennett hits the ball and may have been hit by an eagle coming in on him as the ball dies down at the 22-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, there is a flag back at the 37-yard line.
N.D. Kalu was in on the punter Bennett.
Well, it's the preliminary indication from Bernie Kukar was a hold against San Diego. And now the discussion will be whether to make him kick again.
The up-back Rogers Beckett may have been guilty.
42 of the kicking team. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Let's try that one more time.
So Beckett ticketed for the call, and that'll give Brian Mitchell more room in which to operate.
And you also have a group of guys who have to cover a punt again after having just sprinted 40 yards downfield. So you're always a wise move to make a punt team kick again, or to make a kickoff coverage unit do it again.
Mitchell, a sensational kick returner with 12 touchdowns in his career, and Bennett's punt goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So the Eagles gain about 10 yards on the second punt. On comes Donovan McNabb.
Looks like we might have to get the hose to separate those two.
Arizona and Michigan State. That'll be a terrific early season basketball encounter up in East Lansing. Arizona is certainly one of the big surprises of the young season. Donovan McNabb at Syracuse. And look at this, number 24 McNabb in your program. an outstanding athlete, as we have seen, but some may have forgotten that he was very successful as a reserve for Jim Boeheim's Orangemen.
Well, that's the only sport where Donovan McNabb comes off the bench. In this sport here with shoulder pads and helmets, his bench days are way in the past, as this guy just continues to evolve into not just a good quarterback, but he is the leader of this football team as well. You can see 41 total points at Syracuse. I don't think that, well, more than I had counted, but not very many.
Staley looking for blocks and able to move forward to a first down at the 48-yard line, probably the last play of a busy opening quarter. And there it is, the end of the first quarter with the score. The Eagles 14, the Chargers 7. We'll return to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia right after this message. And welcome back to the Vet in Philadelphia, where the Eagles looking for a win that would take them to 8-4, protecting a 2-game lead in the NFC East. And as you can see, a good omen. They're leading after a quarter 14-7, and they're 12-1 with a first quarter lead the last 13 games. McNabb and the crowd, and that was Junior Seau reaching in front of the intended receiver, Deuce Staley. Seau having another typical Pro Bowl year. He certainly is the spirit, along with Rodney Harrison, of this Charger defense.
Well, what a record. 10 consecutive trips to Honolulu in the Pro Bowl in his 12 years out of Southern Cal, and just epitomizes what the modern linebacking position is all about.
Well, those numbers don't tell the whole story of Junior Seau.
No, they don't.
Here he comes, and Staley is going to break the tackle and actually gain 2 when the Chargers had him for a 2-yard loss. John Perella was there to hit him first, but he was able to slip away. Can't believe it, says John.
Of course, Big John, just another one of the outstanding players to come out of the Nebraska football program. And, you know, this is a real aggressive offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. Every guy on this line has been fined for the league. And John Perella says, hey, you know something? I appreciate guys like that. If I was an offensive lineman, that's exactly the way I'd play.
I'd be nasty, too. McNabb steps up away from pressure. These are the legs they talk about now. He throws it to the sideline. Knocked away by Beckett at the last minute. Intended for Cecil Martin, the fullback.
Oh, that was excellent work by Beckett. When you've got to guard a guy, when you've got to cover a guy for as long as you have to, because McNabb buys all this extra time. This is an eternity when you're in the defensive secondary trying to run with somebody. As Donovan buys all those extra seconds, gets away from Wiley, gets away from Carson, and Beckett maintains coverage on Martin the entire time. That's just excellent work.
And 3-time Pro Bowler Sean Landeta. The veteran hits a low kick, fielded by Dwight.
Look at that speed.
Boy, does he have quick acceleration. That's why the Chargers wanted him as a part of that Michael Vick trade during the draft period this spring. Tim Dwight on the sidelines, used as a third receiver by the Chargers, and welcome back after that injury, the collapsed lung. Jeff Graham, the touchdown maker, in motion, and here's Tomlinson, and he's pinned in the backfield again, and the Eagles are all over the rookie LaDainian Tomlinson, who started today just 44 yards shy of 1,000 yards for the season. Bonnie?
Dick, you made mention of the wind at the top of the telecast. It's really kind of playing havoc with the ball here. Talking to some of the kickers before the game, they said they were making a conscious effort to try to kick it a bit lower, but I've talked to several people down on the field. They say the wind might be blowing between 20 and 25 miles an hour, kind of clear across the field. So it might turn out to be quite a large factor today.
All right, thanks, Bonnie. It appears that it should help the play going left to right, but actually that's how it's been more difficult.
How it blows at the roof line is not how it blows on the field.
Flutie dumps it off, and deflected and almost picked off. One of the big linemen with a hand on that one. Might have been Hollis Thomas.
It went right into a crowd. Of course, you know, when this ball leaves Doug's hand, it's not all that high. He tries to loft it up in the air.
Corey Simon got
Corey Simon, number 90, the defensive tackle. their #1 draft choice of a year ago. Of course, defensive linemen work all week long before you play Doug Flutie. 1, stay in your lanes, and 2, jump. Try to swat that ball away.
3rd and 14 from the Charger 20. Flutie to the sidelines to Conway, complete, knocked out of bounds, but with a first down out at the 36-yard line.
Well, that's a kind of a throw. If you dare wonder about Doug Flutie's athleticism and his ability to still throw the football, here's a deep out to Curtis Conway. This is after rolling to his left. He plants and delivers a blue darter like that. 39 years old. There's still some gas in this guy's tank. You wouldn't think it possible that a man that size still has that kind of juice in his passing arm.
17 yards on that catch to Conway. And a rare 3rd down conversion for San Diego. Into the flat to Tomlinson. And he has some running room to the sidelines and out of bounds at midfield with a first down. Well, they're using him more and more as a receiver at the start of the season. We'll recall, Dan, that since he reported late after signing as the Chargers' top draft pick, he really didn't get much training in the Charger passing game.
No, he missed training camp, and that's where they spent a lot of time on the 3rd down package. And he wants to be known as a Marshall Faulk type, Edgerrin James, a 3-down back. It was very discouraging for him to have to spend the first half of the season watching from the sidelines on 3rd down.
They're going to rule that a lateral catch, so give him 13 yards rushing on the last play. Down the middle, complete to Jones, the tight end, and a first down at the Philly 35-yard line. Jeremiah Trotter, the tackler.
Jeremiah Trotter is the leading tackler for the Eagles, but those are the tackles he would just as soon not make, not the ones that far downfield. But look at Doug. He just kind of disappears. You know, as a defender, maybe you're going, where the heck is this guy? And then all of a sudden, here comes the football. But against this defense, the absence, or any defense, but the absence of Freddie Jones over the last 6 weeks or so with that ankle injury has really hamstrung the Chargers. It's nice to have him back.
Tomlinson finds a hole and picks up 5 before Trotter down low to make a tackle, along with Mike Caldwell. There's Trotter, who owns a hairstyling, a unisex hairstyling operation, a salon in New Jersey. $15 a cut. A lot of customers come from the Eagle camp.
And every one of them has to pay. Although Jeremiah says, mine's free.
He gives them VIP treatment. VIP treatment, though, he says. Second down, closer to 5. Tomlinson, nothing inside, and able to get a couple yards to the 27. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Tomlinson, of course, a rookie, and like every rookie in the National Football League, playing in December, you have now gone way beyond where you have ever gone before, both physically and mentally, and they call it the rookie wall. Your bowl game was a while ago when you factor in the preseason games, the regular season games, and it's difficult for a rookie. Although LaDainian tells us that he doesn't seem to be fazed by it because he thought about it for so long after being drafted. He thinks he was ready.
Out of the backfield, and Tim Dwight has the catch and out of bounds with a first down at the 22-yard line. Well, they're back to Tomlinson. One of the keys, he said, was talking to Emmitt Smith, his idol down in Dallas, and Emmitt advising him, hey, get a chiropractor and don't be afraid to have a couple of massages a week.
No, it's what he's doing. He's really taking care of himself, but it's all in the mind. His body's going to feel the same way next year. It's all in the mind, and a lot of college guys, when they have that first year in the NFL, around this time of the year, they look like a deer with headlights on. They have that wide-eyed, where am I look?
14-7, and Flutie trying to get the Chargers a tie. Had a man open, the Jones, the tight end, but could not find him. And again, that ball seemed to float away.
Boy, and Freddie Jones faking the out and then coming back towards the middle. He's going to be able to run a double move here. Take a look at this. You see him fake the outside move and then back to the middle. And it looked like Doug expected him to break much more to the inside. Freddie kind of went straight up the field. Looked like Doug Flutie was expecting him to come back more on a crossing route, coming back to that football. And again, Freddie Jones has been absent a lot, has been missing a lot of practice, and that's the kind of a situation where it shows.
Shotgun on 2nd and 10. Flutie Good protection. He's going to run it. He's got some room down there and steps out of bounds at the 17-yard line. That'll be short of a first down as the Chargers trailing 14-7, driving deeper into Eagle territory. Kind of interesting here when you figure that the Eagles on the season have allowed only 162 yards passing a game, and San Diego, not exactly a vaunted passing game, has 7 more than that in the first half. 169 yards passing.
Stunning. It's a surprise.
3rd and 5. Eagles show blitz. The throw incomplete, and Flutie backpedaling, trying to hit Conway, but the Eagles had everyone coming at him that time.
Well, Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia, that is the modus operandi of this defensive unit. They're all up in there. A couple of them drop back, but more guys coming than there are to block. And this has always been an aggressive blitzing scheme for these Eagles, and they're not changing now.
Steve Christie signed a couple of weeks ago. The veteran hits the upright. No good. So the wind indeed playing some havoc on balls thrown and kicked. The Chargers get nothing out of that drive. 14-7 Philadelphia.
Like that, a rare drop for Chad.
Eagles have thrown the ball 16 times, only 5 runs. 2nd and 10, the quick throw to the sideline to Pinkston, and he's ridden out of bounds by Lloyd Harrison after a short gain. It's 14-7 here in Philadelphia. Jim, what do you have for us?
We have another update from Foxborough where Antoine Smith could use a little help from his friends. Patriots had gone for him 4th and 1 inside the 5, converted, and then at last, yes, they push him across to tie it at 10. 10-10 Browns and Patriots. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Boy, that was a good look at a second effort and maybe a
little scrum action.
That did look like a scrum, Dick.
3rd down and 9 for the Eagles at their 36-yard line. They lead by 7. McNabb again steps away, and Staley tried to run before he caught the ball, and some of the more vocal Philadelphia fans sent out a chorus of boos.
Well, again, it's a well-executed screen, and it looks like Deuce Staley's going to be able to really motor upfield. How many times have you seen it, though? You just don't look it in. You're just looking for your blocking, looking at the defenders before you look it in.
Landetto needed only 6 punts today to pass Lee Johnson, all-time #1 most kicks. Look at the wind take this ball as Dwight comes up to fair catch it at the 34-yard line, and that was no mean task just to field it cleanly. Philadelphia, midpoint of the 2nd quarter. Dick Enberg with Dan Deerdorf, Bonnie Bernstein, and Dan, you've been with teams in December who have a chance at the playoff. Other teams that find that as the Chargers have 5 and 7, probably hopes are gone. The emotions.
Yeah, emotions are. Mathematically, the Chargers are still alive with 7 losses. They'd have to win out and pray. But sometimes it starts to get very difficult to go to work. And sometimes that manifests itself in mistakes. And the Chargers have had their share today. Trouble holding on to the ball at the beginning. There was Conway. There's McCrary. And then this mistake by Tomlinson serves up 7 points as Dawkins takes it in for a touchdown, and then Bobby Taylor with the interception. And then to cap it all off, Steve Christie points one off the right upright. And it just, Mike Riley, he knows it's just what happens to teams that are struggling to find a win.
2nd and 5, and here's Tomlinson. Great pursuit by the Eagle defense. And another solid tackle. Derek Burgess, who is a backup defensive lineman, a rookie from Mississippi, makes that stop.
Well, Andy Reid will tell you right up front that this is a defensive unit that he has assembled here along with coordinator Jim Johnson that's built to stop the pass. He said when we play a real strong running team, he had us laughing. He said our belly buttons better be low to the field. But, you know, if you've got a team to defend the pass, that means you've got great team speed. And we've seen that as San Diego's tried to hit the perimeter today. They haven't turned the corner.
On 3rd down and 8, Flutie steps up, scrambles, and he's down at the 44, 1 yard shy of a first down. Jeremiah Trotter makes the tackle. And on comes the punting team, and Darren Bennett, who will be kicking apparently with the wind. But if you kick it to the sideline, as you've seen, it'll float wide. Brian Mitchell back. Mitchell trying to join Jerry Rice and Walter Payton as the only players in NFL history to gain 20,000 yards. He's within 100.
Yeah. He only needed 134 coming into the day.
Bennett
bobbled it. He almost dropped that thing.
Very high kick, and Mitchell, rare time for him to call a fair catch. He'll take it at the 19-yard line after a 38-yard punt.
On CBS. He's sponsored by Snickers. Don't let hunger happen to you. And by Message from America. Visit Circuit City today to record your message.
They're lined up for those Philly cheesesteak. I'm sure Deerdorf somewhere in the background there with Lance Sparrow and Mike Arnold, our production director.
I wish that was happening in the back of our broadcast booth. I would love to just turn around and get a cheesesteak. Well, right player, San Diego defense.
First down for the Eagles. They lead 14-7 with 5 minutes and change remaining in this opening half. The screen to Staley, and finally it's caught. And Staley roaming into the secondary at the 30, at the 45, 50, and finally tackled from behind at the 45-yard line by Gerald Dixon and Davis Sanchez.
Well, that's what this crowd has been wanting to see from Deuce Staley. Again, we've seen multiple screens from both teams. Deuce sets it up and out in front. Yeah, he's waiting to pick up some blocks. You saw Wellborn with one. Thomas is trying to get in on it. But this is just all Deuce Staley right here. Donovan has to leap up, and it's going to be a while before he picks up on what happens to this one after being buried by Orlando Ruff.
37-yard play to Staley. First down, the Eagles. Donovan McNabb fires to Freddie Mitchell. Hit immediately at the 40-yard line. Brought down by Davis Sanchez, who played his college ball at Oregon. A lot of fans of the Ducks wondering if they're going to make it to the Rose Bowl for the matchup with Miami. I don't know if that's been announced yet, but I guess sometime today we're going to find out who plays for the national championship.
Yeah, we have to wait for a computer to tell us.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
But what a game last night on CBS. That LSU-Tennessee game.
I stayed up late.
I couldn't turn that off. No. This is Correll Buckholder, the rookie from Nebraska, and he's around the corner and close to a first down before Ryan McNeil can make the stop.
Vern Lundquist and Todd Blackledge were calling that game, and I was envious. That had to be some scene there in the Georgia Dome last night with LSU and Tennessee going at it. That's one of the better college football games I've seen in a long time.
Amen. And LSU really, without their top running back and starting quarterback, able to muster that upset victory. Third and less than a yard for Philadelphia with 3:22 left in the half. McNabb fakes. Going to go long for Thrash. Just off his fingertips over Ryan McNeil. McNeil got away with a little bump downfield.
McNeil was playing that like a veteran, wasn't he? Boy, what blocking up front. This Eagle offensive line just stuffs everybody from San Diego at the line of scrimmage. McNeil not playing the football at all. Has no idea where the ball is, just playing James Thrash, but watch him pull up at the very end. Now, that could have cost them a touchdown. You admire a guy who maybe doesn't want to get a flag, but if that ball lands on Thrash's hands, McNeil quits at the last second and gives up a touchdown.
So 4th and inches, they go for it. McNabb going to throw. Wide open is Thrash. He's got it this time, and a first down at the 11-yard line.
Boy, perfect threading of the needle into the zone coverage, right between the corner underneath, the safety deep. McNeil and Beckett, the corner and safety. Look at this feather right here by Donovan McNabb. Boy, that is just beautiful work between a quarterback and his wide receiver. And James Thrash, having to run a sprint all the way into the end zone, has to run all the way back to the huddle and then run another pattern right down the sideline.
Just outside the 10, they can get a first down without a touchdown. Here's Staley drive started with that 37-yard screen pass, and it's a gain of about a yard. Ray Johnson makes the tackle.
I bet you when James Thrash went back to the huddle and they called his number again, he went, "Oh, I'm glad it's a cold day." That's an 85-degree day, Dick. You don't look forward to that.
Thrash, who wears number 80, as does Rod Smith for the Denver Broncos. They both are products of Missouri Southern and Joplin, Missouri. And he was inspired by Smith, who was a senior when Thrash was a freshman. Looking for Thrash, and incomplete. He had it for a moment. McNeil might have gotten a piece of it. Gerald Dixon pressuring McNabb on the throw.
How did McNabb get that ball to that spot falling backwards? Thrash right there, the fake outside, just the post. And Ryan McNeil, I'll tell you something, there's a reason why this guy's been in the league as long as he has. But that was some throw by McNabb. He puts the ball where Thrash has a chance to catch it, getting knocked over backwards by Dixon. Boy, that was some job.
3rd down and 9. McNabb feathers one this time. Touchdown! Wide open with Staley as he threw it over Rogers Beckett, who never found the ball.
Never tried to find the ball. Rogers Beckett never turned around. The receiver has an advantage anyway, but he has an unfair advantage. Beckett just lost track of the football, never in a position to try to make a play on it, and Deuce Staley with the strong left hand just snags it.
David Akers comes out on his 27th birthday to try the extra point. Staley clutching that touchdown ball.
It's great that Staley got to finish that drive, Dick, because he got it started with that excellent screen pass.
21-7, the Eagles build their lead.
Wish I had a river so long.
Fight the good fight, fellas. Come home soon.
I just want to say thank you from this proud American.
Wish I had a river.
You don't even know me, and you're risking your life for me. Thank you.
Hey, Hallie Eisenberg drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Halle Berry.
Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Halle Berry.
You know.
I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick?
Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist in regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
Can anyone sympathize with a woman who drowns her 5 children? Her husband can and does, and tells Ed Bradley why he does. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
Deuce Staley with that touchdown catch, and it's interesting. We talked with Staley yesterday, Dan, that here he's playing with a harness on the right shoulder. You don't see that, but since the second game of the season, he's had a separated shoulder.
And he really appreciated the fact that their last game was a week ago Thursday against Kansas City. So he's had 10 days to rest it, and he really looks like it here today. He is the running game for the Philadelphia Eagles, and as we've seen here, also a big part of the receiving game.
And McNabb, in his career in the red zone, has thrown 37 touchdown passes, has been intercepted only twice. So when they get in that money area, the final 20 yards, McNabb is at his best. 21-7 the lead. Akers gets plenty of this one. End over end to Jenkins at the 5. Ronnie Jenkins out across the 25 to the 29-yard line, and with 1:51 left, the Chargers will try to muster a long drive.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, it was kind of nice that Deuce got to finish this off, but look at him just stab that with his left hand. Rogers Beckett unaware of the location of the football. And this is where, as a quarterback, you just have faith that your guy is going to outbattle the other guy for the football. McNabb throws that thing. It's really a 50-50 chance, and obviously that's why he had faith in Deuce Staley.
Put Staley out as a flanker left and isolated him on Beckett, and it works on 3rd and 9. Ooh, almost over the head of Flutie on the snap. Eludes Douglas and then dumps it off. Complete. Jeff Graham stepping out of bounds to stop the clock at the 41 with a first down. A reminder coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights, plus a preview of the Jets-Steelers matchup to follow. I don't know, has Glanville gotten a coaching offer yet? He's really, he's out there. He's available.
Oh, I was watching the NFL today this morning. I thought I was watching JobSearch.com or something like that. Jerry fishing for that Falcons job, huh? Whoa, look at that lead.
Throw is incomplete, intended for Graham and broken up by Al Harris.
Did you see that leap there at the line of scrimmage? Check out number 94, N.D. Kalu.
That's a major league hurdle.
That sure is. Looked like Ronaldo Nehemiah going over the top of that thing. He went right over the top of Terrell Fletcher, who was trying to cut him.
He writes poetry and short stories and hurdles too, not all at the same time necessarily, but Kalu very athletic.
I'm glad he likes to go by the initials ND, because I have no idea how to pronounce his first name.
Parents from Nigeria. Flutie escapes, races to the sidelines and stops the clock with a first down on the scramble at the Eagle 47 or 8-yard line. Following the game, we invite you to log on to NFL.com, get the latest information, how the playoff picture is shaping up, as well as analysis from the experts. NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com.
Plenty of time here for Doug Flutie, and the Eagles on that one at least a little nonchalant and just giving Doug that soft corner and letting him run upfield for a first down, plus to get out of bounds. Lots of time for the Chargers to get on the scoreboard here.
1 minute 33 seconds remaining in the half, trailing by 14. Again, Flutie running for his life and then throwing complete to Conway. And Curtis Conway is to the 20-yard line of the Eagles. Great throw by Flutie on the run.
These days, everything's being called fresh. Fresh brewed coffee. How do you know when it was brewed? Fresh air! Hey, look, fresh picked corn. You picked this? How about you, Farmer Brown? You want fresh made? Try the new Subway Selects. Right, Kathy?
Right, Jim. Subway has 4 new Subway Selects made fresh right in front of you. Like the delicious Southwest chicken. Seasoned chicken with a tangy Southwest sauce, all on fresh baked gourmet bread.
See, fresh made does taste better.
Subway, eat fresh.
Welcome back. They're attending to the young defensive tackle from Florida State, Corey Simon, number 1 pick a year ago.
Yeah, he's chasing Doug Flutie. Watch Corey. Going to see him right there. He's going to dive for Flutie right there, and then he ends up landing awkwardly. Geez, what a throw by Doug Flutie. Just prior to going out of bounds, getting it right across his body back to Curtis Conway. He is a marvel at 39 years old. You know, you looked at 18 years ago at Sean Landeta and Doug Flutie playing in the USFL. If you'd have said these guys are still going to be playing football at 2001, you couldn't have gotten anybody to believe that Doug Flutie would have been doing that.
I'll add to the marvel of Flutie. He was a marvel at 5'10" and 180 pounds to even play pro ball, even though he won a Heisman.
If Doug Flutie's 5'10", I weigh 185.
Give him an inch.
That's the most generous 5'10" in sports.
First down from the 19. They throw to the flat, incomplete to Tim Dwight. It's a big opportunity for the Chargers, trailing 21-7, and a minute 16 left in the half. A touchdown here would get Mike Riley's club within a score, and at halftime would be less tense for San Diego.
Tim Dwight, the other free agent signed by the Chargers, and Freddie Jones had a great story. He said, when I saw Tim Dwight, who's only 5'8", he said, I thought that was Doug Flutie.
That's right.
What are we doing? We signed 2 midgets here as free agents. Freddie had us laughing. he really thought Tim Dwight was Doug Flutie.
Screen to Fletcher at the 20. 15, comes back at the 10 and has a first down or close to it at the 9. Maybe he got to the 8. And timeout called by the Chargers here would be their second timeout. Maybe an official timeout to measure. Looks short, the spot.
Well, a guy that really has always been sensational running the screens, Terrell Fletcher. He's been the third down back here in San Diego for many, many years.
Boy, that looked like a bad spot. It looked like his elbow was well close to the 9. They spotted almost on the 10.
Well, you can see Andy Reid's not all that upset about the spot. You know, you got to love an old offensive lineman with a mustache who has a lot of success coaching in this league.
Well, he had Mike Holmgren. He said that's kind of a carryover. I learned so much from Holmgren as an assistant under him at Green Bay that I thought, hey, it worked for him. Maybe that'll make me better.
Andy Reid, obviously doing very well here in Philadelphia. What a good guy.
He sure is. Third down and a yard. Flutie. Pumping, throwing, touchdown to Jeff Graham. And what a big drive by Doug Flutie and the Chargers to take it all the way down the field and get the score back.
I thought Philadelphia, when they started that series defensively, just was a little too laid back, thinking, well, you know, this is the Chargers. They're losing a bunch of games, and they probably won't put that much effort in trying to score before halftime. Well, not so. A very impressive drive by the Chargers.
10 yards on the touchdown throw. Christie adds the extra point, and San Diego right back in it with a minute and a second left before the half, and that gives McNabb and the Eagles a chance with 2 timeouts to see if they can counter.
Well, she has done all his career. It's all about Doug Flutie staying alive. The guy just has such a feel in the pocket. Pump fake, buys himself a little extra time. He didn't move a lot, but he bought himself just enough time to allow Jeff Graham to get open. And Bobby Taylor thought he could make a play on the football underneath, and he thought wrong.
Sidearm that one.
Yep. Bobby Taylor just let Jeff Graham have the back of the end zone, thinking he could defend him up front, and misjudged badly the positioning of both the football and Jeff Graham.
Well, Doug Flutie has had a terrific first half. That's 229 yards and a couple touchdown throws, and he takes the Chargers 71 yards and 7 quick plays. Took him less than a minute to get the touchdown.
And I'll be the first guy to say, Dick, that in this wind against this #1 ranked pass defense in the NFL, I didn't think that was possible. This passing game by San Diego has surprised everybody. I guess maybe it's that experience of all those years throwing the football in the wind in Canada.
Oh, he loves the cold weather.
Maybe he's impervious to this.
Wind blows the ball off the tee. You saw a shot at Jeff Graham, who has 2 touchdowns, and if you weren't with us early, made one of the spectacular touchdown catches of the season over the back of Troy Vincent. Actually took it right out of his hip pocket and rambled 61 yards for a score. And then that 10-yarder just now.
There won't be a late-night sports show on any station anywhere tonight that doesn't show that catch by Jeff Graham.
The kick by Ritchie comes down to Mitchell at the 7, 20, 25, and Mitchell finally hauled down at the 33-yard line. He's getting close to that 20,000-yard mark. Sam Rogers made the tackle. Tonight, after 60 Minutes, Professor Max Bickford asks his daughter to rewrite the school song. You won't believe what he hears. Academy Award winner Richard Dreyfuss stars. All new Education of Max Bickford tonight after 60 Minutes.
I mean, they may even talk on Max Bickford about, did you see that catch by Jeff Graham today?
Oh, Dreyfuss is a football fan.
There again, we see the yardage being given up by the Philadelphia pass defense in 1 half.
Now McNabb goes to work. Deflected, but into an open area off the hands of Chad Lewis. By the way, Mitchell, 75 yards today, needs 59 more, Brian Mitchell, to hit 20,000. Let's go back, show you that Jeff Graham catch.
In case you missed this earlier, he takes it right off the back of cornerback Troy Vincent, who has no idea where the football is at that point, and then Jeff took off for the end zone and made it. I think he's still in wonderment about how he did that.
That's pretty enterprising. I ought to try that again. 2nd and 10 for McNabb. Under a minute to go in the half. Lots of time. And he's hit on the heels by Rayleigh Johnson after gaining about 3, maybe 4 in the scramble, and the Eagles will spend their second timeout. That means we're 40 seconds away from the break, and on to New York we'll go for the Nextel halftime report with Jim and all the gang. Mike, Randy, and Jerry, they'll give you their impressions of early action on this big CBS doubleheader day in the NFL. Young Drew Brees, number 9, the rookie from Purdue. Much promise in this young man, who was a second-round pick of the Chargers, and Flutie, of course, is his mentor. And many feel that Brees has a most promising career ahead in San Diego.
He filled in for Doug when he got knocked out with a concussion, and that's what he did. He threw for 221 yards in a touchdown and trying to bring his team back. And it was against the Chiefs, and it got everybody in San Diego pretty excited.
McNabb in traffic, throws underneath, complete to Lewis, the tight end, and he dives forward. It'll be very close to a first down.
The ball came loose, but you see the official right there saying he was down.
And McNabb calls time, but didn't really need to, because they were going to call time for a measurement.
Yeah, the question is, he is down. There's the knee, but down where? Where was the football when the knee hit the ground?
Now, the Eagles may not be charged with this timeout, since the officials had to call the timeout for the measurement, and it is a first down for Philadelphia. Now, with 25 seconds left, the Eagles have it at the 44-yard line. Remember, going in this direction, it'll be tough on the kicker Akers, who has been almost perfect in the last 2 years.
And you saw Bernie Kukar give the signal to, when they spot the ball and declare it ready for play, that they're going to wind the clock. So Philadelphia is going to keep that timeout. Yeah, there's the signal to wind the clock. So the Eagles do have one left.
McNabb pushed out of the pocket, but extricates himself and then hits for the sidelines in front of Lloyd Harrison at the 42. That'll be ruled a sack. Harrison will be credited, the cornerback, with a sack, and there are 15 seconds remaining.
When a quarterback extricates himself from the pocket, that is normally a good thing.
That's
because
correct.
He needed extraction, correct?
Well, otherwise he would have lost more than the 2 yards.
Indeed.
It is a positive term when you apply it to a quarterback.
So in football, extraction is good. In baseball, contraction is bad.
And sometimes in dental surgery.
Contraction has become a big word in sports these days.
McNabb on a blitz. There's a fumble, and it is covered by Philadelphia. It was in the arms of one of the San Diego Chargers. Rodney Harrison is the man who made the hit on McNabb, and he is in pain.
Oh, what a shot. Donovan McNabb never, ever saw it coming.
Harrison with a full-fledged, full-speed hit.
Donovan just looking to the right side of the field, never looks back the other side, and Rodney Harrison, with a perfectly legal hit, hits him with the shoulder. He doesn't spear him with the helmet. It kind of hits, with the face mask of his helmet, but that a perfectly legal hit, and Donovan McNabb had no clue it was coming.
And Fontenot of the Chargers had a chance for a recovery that might have given San Diego a late long field goal attempt. Coy Detmer, the backup quarterback, the brother of Ty, number 10, comes in to quarterback the Eagles with 2 seconds showing on the clock, and it's third down.
Well, the Chargers got the ball with 1 minute and 33 seconds left, and a lot has happened since then. They score a touchdown, and now we've got Donovan McNabb getting knocked out of the game.
And just a snap short to the up back, and kneeling is Detmer for the final 2 seconds of the half.
Let's watch this hit right now. Let's watch it at full speed, regular speed. Ouch. Big ouch.
And Chad Lewis recovers for Philadelphia to save even more Eagle pain. Fontenot had a chance at it. So that's the end of a very interesting, exciting first half at the Vet in Philadelphia with the score of the Eagles 21, the Chargers 14. Let's go down to Bunny Bernstein.
All right, well, Andy, the Chargers have been able to sustain some leads on your defense. How do you try to contain Flutie in the second half?
Well, we just got to keep coming after him, and he's a good player, but you got to keep bringing it and do what we do best, and that's what we're going to do.
Concerned about McNabb?
Well, I am. I'm running here and see exactly what's wrong with him.
Good, thanks.
43-year-old Andy Reid in his third season here in Philadelphia. A very straightforward and good-humored man, and obviously a fine football mind. So the first 30 minutes in the books with the Eagles leading the Chargers 21-14. The Nextel halftime report is next.
When Professor Max Bickford asks his daughter to rewrite the school song, he won't believe his ears.
Whoa!
An all-new Max Bickford. Then, from Hallmark Hall of Fame, some say creatures from the sea are only legends.
You believe in fairy tales.
Tonight, one man is going to believe.
It will be better now.
Scott Glenn stars.
She must return to the sea, or she will die. This is your home.
The Seventh Strain, CBS Tonight.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Monday on CBS. It's all here.
It was a simple question. How can we help? We answered by donating the time, the parts, and our labor. And just like that, a fleet of cars and trucks was on its way to the New York City Fire Department. It was a simple question. But for the UAW-GM partnership, it was a way to say thanks.
Be a cold Coors Light. When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light. When you're ready for a cold one, a Rocky Mountain cold one.
There's cold, and then there's Coors Light. Frost brewed for that Rocky Mountain cold taste.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light.
Donate a new unwrapped toy and make the holidays brighter for families in need.
Jim Nantz in New York coming up. The Nextel halftime report. Mike, Randy, and Jerry will join me with scores and highlights, plus a report from Greg and Phil on the Steelers-Jets game. That's next.
Attention comedy shoppers, stock up on holiday laughter CBS Monday.
First, how did Doug become an expert witness?
I don't recall.
The King of Queens. Then, Ellen's traveling to CBS Monday.
Let's move it, blockhead!
The Ellen Show on a special night. Next, Ray's dad catches a record-breaking ball.
It's not right to keep that.
Don't bother, Deb. His soul was removed to make room for more stomach.
And it's Christmas Becker style.
There's a naked guy standing out there wearing nothing but a Santa hat.
All new comedy CBS Monday.
This is Rodney Harrison of the San Diego Chargers. Rodney helps the United Way build stronger communities by generously spending time with senior citizens and engaging in good citizenship.
That's messed up.
Rodney Harrison and the good citizens of his community.
Ooh, that's why I'm easy, baby. I'm easy like Sunday morning, yeah. Oh, I'm easy like Sunday morning. Wanna be high, so
high. CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
They're halftime in Philadelphia. We welcome you to Manhattan. Jim Nance from our Fifth Avenue studios. Nextel halftime report. Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville, Mike oohing and on with all those one-handed grabs.
Wow.
Like Ditka with the Bears way back when.
Great plays, but I tell you the big difference in the football game alone, Jim, right now is the fact that San Diego's turned the ball over twice. One of the turnovers goes for a touchdown. That's the only difference. This is just a hard-fought football game, and they're both playing each other teeth to teeth.
Did you like the Graham catch better or the McNabb one-handed catch better?
I know. I like the catch by Graham better.
Graham, that was really big-time highlight there.
What
about Deuce?
Halftime, New England up 10, doubling up the Browns. They were down here 7 early, Randy.
And they were down here really quick when Tom Brady hit Corey Fuller in full stride. Brady staring at his receiver.
Tried to make the tackle, though. He tried.
26th interception of the year for Butch Davis's defense, who knows how to take advantage of quarterbacks making mistakes. Troy Brown, though, as a punt returner, he knows how to take advantage of great blocks. Richard Seymour, the rookie out of Georgia, speed bumps the punter. New England is playing good, conservative football, and they just don't let down.
That punter may quit after that.
You could feel that coming, couldn't you,
I
Gary?
could.
Look at it. Look at it. Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and Mr. Glanville, this is your game. Tell me all about it.
Well, this game's a little bit different. You got Mark Brunell playing pretty good. Drops back, throws this. Who was catching that ball?
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith, twist, turn, stretch, touchdown. What a run after the catch, 17 yards. On the other side.
We're not keeping you up, are we?
On the other side, watch Corey Dillon. Hasn't done much all day. Offense is kind of slow, but there's a 9-yard good run for a touchdown to tie it all up. The Bengals look awful, but the score's tied.
Minnesota, and how about Todd Bauman for Culpepper? Bauman starting today, Randy.
How do you spell that?
Well, Bauman's really lucky. He's got some tutoring from Dante Culpepper, and Dante Culpepper has to watch Eddie George. Look like Eddie George for an early Titan lead. I tell you, he's looking strong, but look at Culpepper. Says, hey, look, when you need somebody, go to the tight end. Hit Chamberlain. He'll be open in the right flat.
Yes.
Sure enough, that's where Byron Chamberlain is. And later on in this first half,
pass protection.
Jake Reed, right out of a retirement home, comes into the left corner of the end zone to catch that pass.
Retirement home.
And Bennett added a late touchdown, or a touchdown just a little while ago. It's 21-10 Minnesota.
The Bears got in Anthony Thomas back in action today. 19-yard run to knot it at 7. Far up to Freeman for the first half touchdown for the Packers, who were up 7-0 at halftime. Lions, Tampa Bay, all stopped with a touchdown for the Bucs. They're in the third quarter. Lions, that ever elusive first win, maybe today, who knows? 49ers, twice they've seen Falk into the end zone. Pro also catching one from Warner. Maybe good news, though. 49ers are 4-0 this year when trailing at halftime. Randy says no, not today. Saints, can they back up the LSU win last night at the Georgia Dome? Win one there themselves. Big state of Louisiana. Pride, a lot of pride on the line there.
Your hometown?
My hometown. I used to live there. Carolina.
Where haven't you lived?
I'm born in North Carolina, actually. Down in Charlotte way, and they're happy right now. Up 24-13 with Winky. Starring Giants, Tiki Barber, 94 yards on the ground.
94 yards.
First half, not bad. I like that pace. This is, again, a doubleheader day on CBS. And coming up, some of you will see the Chiefs at the Raiders. And many of you will watch the Jets take on the Steelers. For more on the matchup, let's go to Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms.
All right, Jim, welcome to Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh, everyone, where it's homecoming day. Yeah, it's homecoming day for New York Jets running back Curtis Martin, because not so long ago, Curtis Martin was an outstanding high school running back here in Pittsburgh at Taylor Alderdice High School. And even back then, even in the high school unis, he was showing signs of what he was to become. Then he moved on to the University of Pittsburgh, and he comes home to Pittsburgh today as the #1 rusher in the National Football League. It's not a bad way to come home.
You're right, Greg. It's always nice to go home, and boy, did Curtis Martin get a lot faster when he went to the University of Pittsburgh. But during the offseason, we had a chance to talk to Kevin Mawae, the center for the New York Jets, and he said our goal this year is going to be the #1 rushing team in the National Football League. Well, they're not there yet, but I think the Jets have been the most consistent team week in and week out so far. Now, today it's going to be their toughest test. We talked to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Friday. They are worried about this Jets running game because they know they're going to keep coming at them. And they do so many different things. Counters, reverses, draw plays to Curtis Martin. So the Pittsburgh Steelers got their work cut out for them, too.
Yeah, it'll be a good test on both sides. The Steelers trying to secure that postseason positioning, while the New York Jets are 5-0 on the road this season and looking to stay perfect here in Pittsburgh today. Jim?
All right, we look forward to your call later today. And Mike Ditka just beaming when we talk about the University of Pittsburgh. Curtis Martin, what do you see here?
I'll tell you what, he makes the university very proud. What a great guy he is, what a great football player. I think the key to this game is not running him, but if they run him 30 times, my buddy Randy Cross just told me, when he runs the ball 30 times, they're undefeated. I think that's a good idea. Run it 30 times, right?
First 30 plays?
But what about
run it 30? Absolutely, why not?
You told me on the NFL Today he's got to catch it today.
He will.
He will. All right. Second half coming up in Philadelphia. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel. Get right through.
The Guardian, Tuesday on CBS. It's all here.
Hey. Should we tell him he can go to the U.S.? Nah. Cold, crisp, and clean. Molson Canadian.
To create a comfort zone. That's why you're here. To extend its boundaries. That's why we're here. Sovereign Bank. Online or at your Sovereign Community Banking office.
It was the mountains and the snow and the water below. Are you ready? And you will know it's cold at last when the Coors Light hits your glass. Are you ready for a cold one? Are you ready for a cold Coors Light? Are you ready? Are you ready for a cold Coors Light? Are you ready for a cold one?
You are watching KYW3.
Home of Eyewitness News.
And welcome back for the second half here in Philadelphia. The Chargers a late score at the end of the first half to cut the lead to 21-14. But right now, everyone waiting to see the condition of Donovan McNabb.
Yes, everyone is, especially if you're rooting for Philadelphia. A couple surprises, though, here in the first half, Dick. It begins with the passing game of the San Diego Chargers. In this wind, how they're doing it, 229 total yards. We've got a 7-point ball game. The difference in this game, the fumble by LaDainian Tomlinson that gets run back by Dawkins for a touchdown. But other than that, it has been dominant by the San Diego Chargers.
And we're getting a report now from the Eagle bench that McNabb, a contusion in the back, he will return. As he was hit on the blindside blitz from Rodney Harrison of San Diego. The Chargers kick it off. It's Mitchell and Douglas deep, and the wind really carries this one to the back line of the end zone, and Philadelphia will start with the touchback at the 20. Let's get a report now from Bonnie Bernstein.
All right, well, good news, as you said, Dick. McNabb will be back in the game. Talking to Coach Riley after halftime, basically Dan echoed what you said. There's really only two things that mark the difference in this game: a missed field goal on our part and the fumble return for the touchdown. He said, offensively speaking, for us running, we tried to get out on the edge a little bit too much on the first half. This time we might just try to run right at him.
All right, thanks, Bonnie. McNabb in the first half, 12 for 26, a couple of touchdowns and 154 yards. Kept a couple of drives alive with a run. Here's the screen to Staley, and Staley hit from behind, and then that slows him up. Wiley from behind, and Harrison meets him straight on for the tackle.
Well, as we monitor Donovan McNabb's game here in the second half, we'll be constantly thinking of this, and this is the play right at the end of the very first half. From his blind side, Rodney Harrison comes in, separates quarterback from football, and Detmer had to come in for the last play. So we will see how effective Donovan McNabb is. A big guy at 6'2", 226. And he's been hit before. Toughness is not a question here.
2nd and 4. He's going to throw again. This time to Todd Pinkston, and Pinkston, that's the third time he's been hit with that quick out from Donovan McNabb. They call him Slim. He's 6'2" and only 170 pounds.
A nickname that I was spared growing up.
That could have gone unsaid.
Thank you.
You were 170 in the 5th grade, weren't you?
I don't know. I'm maybe 4th.
First down on the catch. Staley picking his way. Oh, that low center of gravity for Staley, and he seems to be able to take that first hit and move on for added yardage on almost every occasion.
Well, the 2 twos and deuce. And Dick, here's an offense that also has a Trey.
At tackle Trey Thomas, but no ace.
It just doesn't. Although they're saying that their third-string quarterback, a kind of a feeble attempt at an ace.
A.J. Feely.
Yeah, because they think it sounds like Ace Frehley, who was a musician with Kiss. See, I'm hip enough. I know that.
With a star.
But his name's Feely, not Frehley.
There's Davis Sanchez and Harrison firing Pinkston out of bounds. And that'll be close to another Philadelphia first down. They're going to measure. Bernie Kukar signaling timeout.
Well, without all that offense in the first half, we had a lot of dropped passes. I think 9 altogether. Some was lack of concentration by the receivers. Some of it, the wind has really been tricky here and it's showing no signs of letting up. The American flag is starched. This will give us a little indication as to what kind of a half we had. We had balls bouncing off of receivers all around the field. Right there, Tim Dwight had that one knocked loose. Chad Lewis not able to bring that one in. We've just seen them all over the place. 9 total dropped passes in the first half. So that stops the clock a great deal, and thus we had that first half was a long one.
It was. Hardly any runs on either side. Both teams going to the air. So third and a link on the chain for McNabb and the Eagles. Who often will try to cross up and throw, but McNabb will just sneak it in with that big frame of his at 6'2" and 226, easily nudges it forward for the first down out to the 44.
You mentioned the big frame of McNabb. A whole lot of big frames in front of him. What an offensive line the Eagles have developed here, and they're starting to get a lot of publicity, and deservedly so, because they've been together for a while, and they are. Hank Fraley is filling in at center for Bubba Miller, who went down in the preseason. He's done a good job, but they have. They've been playing in there every game this season, and they are anchored at the tackle position. They are mean, nasty, and tough.
Yeah, that word nasty came up more than once yesterday, not only from the Eagles, but from the Chargers. And it starts with John Runyon, number 69. As you look at Trey Thomas, the other tackle. Runyon is 6'7", 330, and of course was with Tennessee, a unrestricted free agent a year ago. And Andy Reid said he brought more than size and talent to this team.
Well, you know, he's a lot like an old teammate of mine, Conrad Dobler. He brings an attitude. He brings a nastiness, and it's infectious. It rubs off on the other guys, and they want to play like him. And Andy Reid thinks it's been nothing short of wonderful.
Second down and 10, and McNabb can't find an open receiver. Dives forward to the 49, and while it looked as if that wasn't much, that was a 5-yard gain. Rayleigh Johnson with a tackle. McNabb, who last year rushed for 629 yards. That's the 4th most ever by a quarterback in a single season. Bobby Douglas and Randall Cunningham, Steve McNair with more, but you know that they don't sack him often, and when you don't get McNabb, he gets you with his legs. 3rd and 5. Screen complete. Underneath throw to James Thrash, and Ryan McNeil makes the tackle, but another first down for the Eagles.
And again, though, that's so much on Donovan McNabb. He's got the hot blitzer coming from his left. You see, here comes Junior around the corner. He's got Perella coming right up the middle. So falling backwards, back on his heels, not only finds the right guy, but has the ability to get him the ball completely off balance. You know, in most teams in this league, that ends up being an incomplete pass, and you just chalk it up to the defensive coordinator coming with a well-timed blitz.
And off, and then the reverse, and that one goes awry, and then the throw. and it's batted down as Freddie Mitchell had that one stuffed as Leonardo Carson invaded that trick play by the Eagles.
Well, what kills a reverse, and that's how this was going to start off, is penetration. And coming all the way upfield is Ray Lee Johnson. And he just completely disrupts this entire play. Ray Lee Johnson, number 99. There he goes shooting upfield. He grabs Staley and it almost ends up a fumble as Staley tries to give it to Mitchell. But Ray Lee single-handedly blew that thing up.
And then Carson fly swatted it down. Mitchell, the wide receiver, threw 4 touchdown passes at UCLA, and they were trying to take advantage of his arm. Here's McNabb, sights downfield, throw short, complete, and that one's to Thrash again. Orlando Ruff makes the catch. You know, Thrash, here's another free agent, and there's something about those when they finally make a roster, how hard they play, what an example they are as a practice talent. They work so hard, and Thrash only lasted a couple of weeks here in Philadelphia as a free agent, went on to Washington, where last year he had a breakthrough season, and then comes back to Philadelphia as an unrestricted free agent, and they love him.
Well, he said one of the places he considered was San Diego because of his relationship with Norv Turner from the Redskins. Also looked at Denver, but figured behind Smith and McCaffrey, not enough balls left over to come his way.
3rd and 4. The toss is to Staley, and this time after the initial hit does not get extra yardage as Gerald Dixon spearheaded the charge, number 51. You see Rodney Harrison down there slapping Dixon on the back and saying that's the way to attack, and it's 4th down and 2.
Well, this has been a very physical game. You can hear the hitting. It is so audible. And I remember talking to Mike Riley. He told his team coming in here, the Eagles are a physical club. They are going to smack you in the mouth, and you better smack back, because they make a living out of pushing people around.
Tim Dwight at the 10-yard line for Sean Landeta. This will tie Lee Johnson's all-time punt record. Dwight lets it go, and it's downed at the 5-yard line. Damian Douglas there for Philadelphia. 1,187. Over 29 miles of punts by Landeta.
Is violent and dangerous for young adults and cubs alike. The feast is a frenetic free-for-all, and the dominant male is...
Hey, the meat is mine. Oh, here. Case closed. Oh, no. It's good to have you home, sweetie.
Just go to Southwest.com by December 27th for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials.
You are now free to move about the country.
Look at these. Do you remember which one he wants?
I can't remember what we had for breakfast.
Want a gift you can't get wrong?
I remember.
What?
Eggs.
The Best Buy gift card. This holiday, turn on the fun.
I had eggs for breakfast.
You're not helping.
Man, there's a lot of raw talent out there this year.
And here's your proof. He makes his move. Oh, man! Ow. What a hit!
Say hello to Mr. Wall, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. He's not moving.
He's not moving.
No pads, no helmets, no mercy.
Why do they have to hit so hard?
Robotica, not your average robot show, premieres Wednesday at 8 on TLC.
Hey, you can be going. What will it take for you to talk to your doctor about Zocor? Let's go. Good job. Ask your doctor if Zocor can work for you. Zocor, be there.
How do you solve a murder?
We need the body.
When the only proof left is in the victim's donated organs.
This is my kidney now.
The CSI You Can't Miss, Thursday at a special time.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
We're back in Philadelphia with 8:21 left in this third period, and the Chargers get the ball for the first time in the second half from their own 5-yard line through the legs of LaDainian Tomlinson at Doug Flutie. Tomlinson finds a little crease and wiggles out to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5 into the arms of Mike Caldwell. Which of these bubble teams has the best chance to make the playoffs? That's our NFL.com question this week. make your selection, and we'll give you the answer next week. Last week we asked which player arrival has made the most impact on his team, and you said Doug Flutie, San Diego. Nearly 30% of you that voted. And Flutie at the controls today. His team, the Chargers, down by 7 in Philadelphia. 2nd and 5, back to throw. Fires. Oh, should have been intercepted by Bobby Taylor. A flag goes down. Jeff Graham, the intended receiver for San Diego. That was right into the midst of Taylor. Did he push off? Yes.
Pass interference, 21 defense. That's the first down.
Now you look at Taylor, who's in his 7th season in Philadelphia. You realize how Andy Reid has really restructured this team. Taylor is the dean of the Eagles in his 7th year, and he's only 27 years of age, and it's a team of very talented young players.
Well, when Andy took this team over, that's what he had to do. He wants his kind of players. You have to admit that. They're a pretty classy group.
They are. They were fun to talk to. Flutie somehow gets away, extricated in fact, and throws complete to the sideline to Curtis Conway.
And I think I'm watching the Groucho Marx show. The duck's going to come down. Extricate is our bonus word.
Let's see what we've got on the sideline here as the officials discuss a possible penalty at the 31-yard line. If the catch is allowed, it's a first down, but
bring it back.
Mike Riley, not exactly an animated head coach on the sideline, but didn't like that one.
Illegal touching. Number 80 of the offense went out of bounds. Was the first to come back in to touch the football. 5-yard penalty.
Don't see that one very often, do you?
Well, you see it on special teams. You don't see it on a conventional play from scrimmage. All right, when Flutie breaks out, and I got to give Curtis Conway a little break there. I'm sure he didn't even realize that he stepped out of bounds. He's just doing a great job trying to come back to his quarterback. And as I said, you'll see that with a sprinter on a punt or something like that. It was really rare to see it, but Curtis Conway just trying to get open after Flutie scrambled out of the pocket.
Only the 3rd penalty of the game. 1st and 15 now for Flutie. The chase is on again. This time he's sacked. The Eagles trying to get to him, and they're led by Derek Burgess, the Mississippi rookie, and Corey Simon.
Well, Derek Burgess has been a nice surprise here for the Eagles. You know, he was their number 3 draft choice this year and had to play 3 games when Brandon Whiting was hurt. And again, it's just an endurance contest when you chase Doug Flutie. But what Burgess did is he didn't overrun him. Almost overran him, was able to throw the air brakes out in time to get him.
Don't know if he'll get a full sack, but he has 3 already this year. He's been productive. Now 2nd and a mile for Flutie. Gives to Tomlinson, who is very close to that 1,000-yard mark. He needed 44 yards today. And the number 6 rusher in the league as a rookie, and his 10 touchdowns lead all rookie runners, and he is 5 yards away from 1,000 as a rookie. There's his numbers. A fumble, of course, very costly in the first half that bounced directly to Brian Dawkins for an easy Philadelphia score.
Well, he came out of the gates on fire. Well, I believe 3 out of his first 4 games were over 100 yards, and then he hit the 100-yard wall. That was that.
Yes, he did. 3rd and 20, and Tomlinson again. Boy, he does have some moves, and the Chargers feel they'll strengthen their offensive line in the offseason, free agency, or with a draft. And when Tomlinson gets a little more blocking downfield, he's really going to be something. He might well break the Charger record. Marion Butts.
No, I think Natron Means.
Natron Means. 1,350 is the record, and of course he has 3 more games this year that might challenge that.
Well, that was back in '94, and that was actually the last time a Charger running back had even a 1,000-yard season, which means 94 years.
There's the punt by Bennett up into that wind, and it just dies. Takes a San Diego bounce at midfield and is down by Zeke Moreno, rookie from Southern California, at the 48-yard line. 38-yard punt by Bennett. We have a timeout.
After the first few days of basic training, you realize your preconceptions were all wrong. You're ready to make the transition from civilian to soldier. You've seen your drill sergeants. They aren't so bad. Then you realize your training hasn't even started yet.
Get off the ball! You better move! You had better pick up the pace!
Log on. Watch Basic begin.
We're all waiting on you!
Only at GoArmy.com.
Hey guys, there are women doing naked aerobics across the way.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna close these drapes. I'm gonna dismantle this telescope. I'm gonna make sure no one's looking out the window. And I'm gonna go to that apartment and tell those girls to put some clothes on.
Not buying this? Buy this instead. Great tasting, easy drinking Bud Light.
Shh. Telemarketer? Go ahead.
Fletcher, Mr. Smith, Ed, it's Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss. Tails, it's Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger. Call in the air. Tails. Heads! No, heads! No, I mean tails!
Can't decide between Wendy's delicious new Chicken Bacon Swiss and Wendy's delicious new Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger? Each topped with hickory smoked bacon and tangy Swiss? Try them both. It's win-win.
Hey, Fry Man, over here!
Here you go.
For girls and boys, it's a fact. In every Wendy's Kids meal, Grinch toys are back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. The United States Army, an army of one. And by Saturn, now with two distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series.
Sculpted image of Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. This is a city with great sculpture. That's not one of the Rodins, but they do have.
That's not the Thinker?
The Rodin Museum here, along with in Paris.
Oh, that's not the Thinker. I'm disappointed.
McNabb, starting from near midfield, steps up, gets away from a tackle, and scrambles forward for nearly 8. Michael Mooring made the tackle. Fontenot almost had him in the backfield.
Well, what appears to be good news for Philadelphia is that Donovan McNabb doesn't seem to show any ill effects from that big hit he took from Rodney Harrison. Not afraid to take the ball right up the middle and actually gets hit in the back. Donovan looks and looks and he goes, my, what a big hole I've got right up the middle here. That's just too enticing. It's like a Krispy Kreme sitting there in the morning saying, take it.
You already got your beefsteak, the Philly steak. Now you're going for breakfast. Complete to Jamie Reeder, and for Reeder, only his second catch all season. He's a first-year fullback from Akron, a former Zip. Rodney Harrison with the tackle, and it's first down at the 35 of San Diego.
And where do the Zips play their football?
In Akron.
I know. What's the name of their stadium?
Zip Stadium.
No, it's the Rubber Bowl. It really is. It's a
glad you asked.
It's because of the, Goodyear, Firestone, everybody right there. It's
either the flags are flying from your comment. No, it's
69 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
John Runyon, here is his number 69 call. University of Michigan. He was a two-time high school state champion in the shot put. He is a huge man. That's right. And he's smaller than Trey Thomas, the other tackle, 6'7" and 350.
Boy, what confidence that has to be for Donovan McNabb.
McNabb scrambling again, and they finally get to him at the 42-yard line.
Dick Runyon's not going to like you. The minute you single him out, he gets called for holding.
So back-to-back penalties, but the Chargers may just take. Now they only get about 3-yard loss on the sack.
Big John got caught with the rodeo act here as he.
Holding. 69 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Got to protect your quarterback.
Yeah, they call this bulldog in here. Marcellus Wiley, number 75. Well, I'm just going to take you and throw you down. Unfortunately, it was right in front of referee Bernie Kukar, who tossed the hanky.
Dixon and Seau will fight over the sack as they teamed up on the tackle of McNabb, but they take the penalty anyway. So at the 50-yard line, it's to Staley, hit in the backfield by Marcellus Wiley. So Wiley, who has 16 sacks in his last 16 games, doesn't have one today, but invades on the run and dumps Staley for a 3-yard loss.
Well, and that's just Marcellus Wiley is all the way out here. He's going to take an inside on John Runyon and do Staley. It looked like Runyon was expecting Staley to jump to the outside. He elected to go inside, and that took him right into Marcellus.
2nd down and 28. 5 defensive backs, and McNabb with the pump, and now will go long and has a man open, but Harrison intercepts for San Diego. Rodney Harrison back to the 40 and tackled at the 42. No fumble. It was after he had gone down. So Todd Pinkston seemed to be open, but Rodney Harrison was luring him. McNabb into that pass, and Harrison with the pick.
The ring of power. It has been found. The forces of evil are searching for it.
Something draws near. I can feel it.
They are coming. A fellowship of 9 must destroy it.
What chance do you think we have? There is no other way.
The Lord of the Rings, directed by Peter Jackson, rated PG-13, starts December 19th.
Madonna Immobile, Qual Piuma al Vento, Muta da Cento, E di Pensiero.
Singular wireless nationwide plans. No roaming or long distance charges, plus 3,000 night and weekend bonus minutes.
Muta da
Do you think you're making a difference? We do. Since you started being a designated driver, or calling a cab for a friend, or serving responsibly, drunk driving fatalities are down 37%. To all who are making a difference, thank you.
It's a better place to live. It's a better place to live. Thanks to you.
The Raiders continue their drive to be the best in the AFC West against the Chargers. The NFL is on Saturday on CBS.
Surprisingly, the first interception of the season for Rodney Harrison, just as Bobby Taylor has his first of the year in this game. And the Chargers take over at the 41, trailing 21-14 here in Philadelphia. 2:48 left in the third quarter. Tomlinson struggles to the 43-yard line, again at 2.
Well, let's go back and look at that interception. Now, here's Pinkston down here. Now, McNabb is going to look at these two defenders right here. He's never going to suspect that Rodney Harrison is going to come all the way across the field and disrupt his plans at a completion. Because right here, he sees Pinkston has beaten Beckett and the other Harrison, Lloyd. But there comes Rodney Harrison all the way across the field. Now, that's why that he's been a... Okay, here you go.
So obliging.
Hey, why not? What a play, though, by Rodney Harrison.
2nd and 8. The throw is complete to the tight end Jones. Tackled immediately by Trotter. Just shy of the first down near midfield. Freddie Jones. Well, I guess he did not hang on. As he went down, looked as if he had control.
Oh, you asked, Dick, and we will take a look.
Another drop, apparently. He has it for a moment, and yes, it ruled. It's blocked by Jones' body. He didn't.
But you can see it rolling away. Yeah. On a pass, it is so clear-cut now. You've got to hit the ground and keep the football.
Here come the blitz, and they get through cleanly, but Flutie eludes it. Now throws incomplete, trying to hit Terrell Fletcher, who had moved out of the backfield and headed upfield, but that was just much too tough for Flutie, although he's made a couple throws like that today.
And Brian Dawkins, I believe, was the blitzer that once again found out that the elusive one, Doug Flutie, not easy to catch. That's how many guys has he made whiff like that?
Darren Bennett to Brian Mitchell. Mitchell needs just 59 more yards, combined yards, to hit 20,000 in his great career. Wobbler comes down to Mitchell on the run. This is really returnable. And he's able to be stopped by Fred McCrary, the fullback, at the 36-yard line. McNabb and the Eagles back on offense. 1:46 left in the third.
Saturn is working to keep our economy strong. In jobs, in commerce, and in spirit. As part of that effort, we're providing interest-free financing on select 2002 coupes, sedans, and wagons. Come visit your Saturn retailer and keep America rolling.
Checking out digital cameras?
Yeah, I need FireWire compatibility so that I can email my pictures.
Sure. This one also makes MPEG movies.
Really?
Oh, he's excited. It's for our baby. Congratulations. Considered any names yet?
Yeah, maybe Sony or Olympus, but you're the expert, right?
We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
How about an LCD screen?
LCD, chickenpox. We're going to screen for everything.
Hi, I'm Susan McGinnis, news anchor for CBS Market Watch. CBS Market Watch is not only the place I work, it's also the resource I use and trust when I'm managing my own finances. It's where you should go first for the best information on mutual funds, retirement, real estate, taxes. The ING personal finance section gives you the best advice from some of the industry's most seasoned financial columnists. More than 100 journalists worldwide reporting for you. CBS Market Watch is the #1 source for financial news. It's more than just news. It's news you can use.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Sega Sports.
Back in Philadelphia, the Eagles leading the Chargers 21-14. Tomorrow on CBS begins with an all-new night of great comedies. King of Queens in the leadoff position, followed by The Ellen Show, special time. Then Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by Becker, starring Ted Danson. Then don't miss a dramatic all-new Family Law Monday here on CBS. From the 37, McNabb fakes to Staley, rolling and throwing complete to James Thrash, and his momentum takes him out of bounds after a short gain at the 42. Thrash, who leads the Eagles in catches this year with 44, 7 of those for touchdowns.
James Thrash, a really highly sought after free agent, and just a simple pattern, but it's all based on everything being sold the other direction by McNabb. It's a simple route, but it's a lot more complicated for the quarterback.
Staley gets by the blitz and dives close to a first down to the 46. It'll be 3rd and 1. Let's go down to B Square.
Well, Dick, James Thrash has kind of made his name for himself as a deep threat here in Philadelphia, but he said he just as much enjoys those little passes underneath where he could run and get some yards after the catch. That could very well stem from the fact that he was a special teams ace and a returner in Washington, and perhaps that he was an All-American sprinter at Missouri Southern.
I grew up in Wawoka, Oklahoma, little town, and on to Missouri Southern. 3rd and 1, and McNabb gets away and now throws the ball incomplete to the sideline. So they needed one for the first down, and the fans want him to go for it at the 46-yard line, but Andy Reid says, not in this spot of the field.
Well, we just saw Doug Flutie make people miss. Now Al Fontenot, number 95, it's his turn to actually have a guy wrapped up, and McNabb pulls away from him, but he gets a little kiss at the end from Junior.
That's Orlando.
Oh, that's Orlando Ruff. Excuse me, number 56.
Your favorite linebacker name?
Well, let's be realistic. If you're going to be a linebacker, it's a pretty good name.
Ruff. And that kick will set a NFL record. Sean Landeta And oh boy, the veteran just kills it at the 5-yard line. And that is the kick that moves him past Lee Johnson. His 1,188th National Football League punt.
Oh, let's hear it.
You hate.
One blustery autumn Sunday, 2 warriors hunkered down in the fury of battle.
For the win! Interception!
With one crushing blow, momentum turned. As the stalwart Viking mounted a final aerial assault, the battered warrior could only watch his hopes of victory vanish. And in defeat, learned dignity and grace.
NFL 2K2. Rated E for everyone. Pizza Hut announces us versus them. Them are the pizzas that skimp on toppings. Us is Pizza Hut, the people that load them on, like on our new Ultimate Pepperoni Lovers Pizza, bulging with not 1, but 2 layers of zesty pepperoni, and now with 6 kinds of cheese. Them never heard of that much cheese. For pepperoni pizza perfection like this, 2 layers of pepperoni and 6 kinds of cheese. It's not $12.99, it's just $8.99. $8.99. The new Ultimate Pepperoni Lovers Pizza, only at us, Pizza Hut.
Catcher's mitt for Sun, $47. Catcher's mitt that comes with Space Camp for Sun, priceless. This holiday season, use your MasterCard and you could win 5 priceless gifts to give to your family and friends, including a trip to Space Camp. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
On Survivor Africa, the big animals have always been a threat. But this Thursday, it's the smallest creatures who'll make the biggest buzz. And the only way to get a break from the suffering is to team up for a challenge and win candy, hot dogs,
yummy,
and a surprise movie. All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Sean Landeta with a new all-time punt record, and that doesn't include the 3 years that he kicked in the USFL. This would be his 20th pro season, counting those 3 seasons. Well, Flutie again. Goalpost at his back from the 5 in his own end zone. Running to try to avoid a safety. Throws intercepted on the far side, or was it? No, trapped is the call. Ball hit the ground in front of Troy Vincent. That could have been disastrous for San Diego.
Doug upset with himself that he threw it into traffic. I know you're in the end zone and you don't want to get caught back there. Yep. Good look there at one hop, and even then it bounced off the chest of Troy Vincent. Freddie Jones, rather, the intended receiver, the big San Diego tight end. Troy Vincent has had a lot happening around him today.
Look after that great first half passing, -9 yards here in the third quarter with only 20 seconds remaining in the period, and Flutie has to call time. Fans down at that end helping the Eagle defense with a bit of ruckus.
And clearly you could see the frustration on Doug's face that he had to take that timeout.
Yeah, this is the first game of our CBS doubleheader, and it should be a couple of terrific games to follow. The Jets and Pittsburgh. The Jets very much in need of a win, and of course the Steelers, one of the top AFC teams, in Kansas City, will be at Oakland as the Raiders try to bounce back from that very tough overtime loss to Arizona last weekend. Flutie has been chased all day, and they haven't caught him often.
Well, he doesn't have Philadelphia's offensive line in front of him. Mike Riley telling us that they just didn't have the money this year to address the offensive line, and thus it's forced Doug to spend a lot of time improvising. He's in the pocket just collapses around him there. Hugh Douglas finally chases him down along with Derek Burgess, and it's again though it's Doug running that a lot of the time because he's being forced to, not because he wants to.
Tomlinson cuts inside and gets out to the 10, where it'll be 3rd down and 5. And those 5 yards will put him right at the 1,000-yard mark.
You see Donovan McNabb running a lot of times, Dick, because he's buying extra time, freeing up a receiver, but he's running out of choice. Flutie's running out of necessity. A big difference.
And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter with the Eagles leading the Chargers 21-14. We'll return to Veterans Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
Keep
thought creatures from the sea were only legends until now.
I will take care of you.
Scott Glenn stars in Hallmark Hall of Fame's The Seventh Stream, CBS tonight.
The King of Queens, Monday on CBS. It's all here.
Now get 7-year or 100,000-mile powertrain protection on 2002 Dodge Ram.
Quality Plus Ford dealer is leading the way in safety with 10 vehicles with the government's highest safety rating. And right now, safety is more affordable with 0% financing on the minivan with a quadruple 5-star safety rating. Ford Windstar. That's right, 0% financing on the only minivan with a personal safety system. Safety, security, value. A few more reasons why your Quality Plus Ford dealer is...
You're watching KYW3,
home of Eyewitness News.
We open the fourth quarter here in Philadelphia. Dick Enberg, Dan Dierdorf, Bonnie Bernstein. 21-14. The Eagles in the lead. Third down, 5. Flutie and the Chargers from their own 10. He's in trouble. Gets away for a moment. Flag down, and so is Flutie, twisted down short of a first down by Jeremiah Trotter. And the flag would indicate a possible hold. It's thrown back at the line of scrimmage. And without making the first down, the Eagles will decline and take the punt.
No question about that. What happens to an offensive lineman a lot of times when his quarterback takes off running, all of a sudden you think the quarterback is behind you. The guy in front of you changes directions and you grab him and you don't know.
71 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Domingo Graham with the penalty, and Bennett will punt it again.
We'll see a lot of holding calls when a quarterback leaves the pocket like that.
Sends this one high, one of the better kicks of the day, and Mitchell at his own 35, 40. Boy, you can elude that first man. To the 44, a 9-yard return for Brian Mitchell, and we have a timeout just underway. Fourth quarter, Eagles by 7.
This workmanship. Could make a lot of lira selling these in New York. Yeah, look at these prices. These guys don't know what they got. They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, Senora.
What's it say? They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey. New Jersey?
New Jersey. New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
What's so special about the Braun Synchro? It's the first shaver whose head moves from side to side, so it captures more hair and cuts closer, only it moves so fast you can't see it. But you can hear it. And to keep it feeling like a new shaver every day, here's how to clean it.
dad catches a record-breaking ball. Will he give it back?
You know it's not right to keep that.
Don't bother, Deb. His soul was removed to make room for more stomach.
And all new Raymond, CBS Monday.
Bonnie Bernstein reporting from the vet, where the Eagles have a 14-7 lead over the Chargers, but currently without the services of defensive tackle Corey Simon. He suffered a sprained right shoulder and is questionable to return, guys.
All right, thank you. We understand Terrell Fletcher also not expected back with a hamstring for the Chargers, as McNabb on first down again gets away and throws complete on the sidelines to his tight end Chad Lewis. Lewis, who one of the interesting free agent stories, inspired by a wife who's an excellent athlete as well, was a two-time volleyball All-America at BYU when they met. Went on his Mormon mission to Taiwan, speaks fluent Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. His dad's a obstetrician, has delivered over 2,000 babies, and he'd like to do the same someday. He wants to follow the medical profession. Caught in the backfield, Deuce Staley, and he loses a deuce as John Perella there to make the stop. Other scores coming through here shortly as we update you on other action, early action. What a turnabout by New England after they lost Drew Bledsoe. We did that game. Never would have thought that they would rally the way they have. Minnesota.
Well, that's a surprise without Dante Culpepper.
Blitz, and the throw is caught. That was an excellent catch by Freddie Mitchell right off the top of the artificial carpet and has near a first down.
Halfway there, I thought that football was going to drop short of Mitchell. Boy, it's surprising Donovan McNabb and his ability to get some real velocity on a football. This thing looks like it's going to drop into the ground.
Ooh, I think it did.
But, well, you know, it is allowed to touch the ground if the receiver has possession of it. See, that's one of those angles. It's just impossible to tell, although Mike Riley is asking for a clarification.
San Diego is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
The Chargers have spent one timeout, risk another if it is not overruled. Here's another look.
See, I couldn't overturn it on that. Remember, the ruling on the field is that it was a catch. You need conclusive visual evidence.
Now, if the ball is hitting the ground simultaneously with a catch, then the ground has aided the catch.
Yes, no question about that.
And that's what,
did you think it hit the ground?
Initially, I did. Now, that one isn't as convincing. That last shot isn't as convincing, but we got another look. Freddie Mitchell, they like this young man. He said he's tough. He's got a lot of Hollywood in him, but
here's a different look. Now that look, let's go. Maybe if we could look at that one more time. Now that one, it looks like the ball's on the ground. That one, it looks like the ball hits.
Right.
Yes, that I think there you see the ball's on the ground. I think that's the look that Bernie Kukar is going to want to see. I think on that one you have to go back and say that it needs to be overturned. From the other angle, I didn't think it touched the ground. From that angle, it's pretty clear that it is on the ground.
So instead of a first down, if he rules that incomplete, it'll bring up a third down and about 14.
Freddie's explained to everyone how he made that catch.
Well, he knows how to catch a ball. He was an outstanding baseball player at both the baseball and football at UCLA, and was drafted by Tampa Bay and the White Sox as an outfielder. It's either 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 15.
I'm opting for the latter.
After reviewing the play, the ball did hit the ground. The pass is incomplete. The third down.
It's a good thing that that second angle is the definitive look. Again, here it is. Yes, he's got his hands on it, but the ball hits the ground and comes right up into the hands of Freddie Mitchell, who did a sensational job of making it that difficult to discern whether it was a catch or not. So San Diego won't be charged the timeout with that successful challenge.
And it'll bring up third down and close to 15 at the Charger 46-yard line. Now the delay is for what?
Well, probably spotting the football. They're going to want to make sure that they have it in the right place.
Mike Riley, should take a look at him during the course of this last week or so. The San Diego State job has been open, has been filled this past week. He was rumored to be one of those that the San Diego State people were interested in, but Dean Spanos, the president of the Chargers, indicated that he's our coach. We're not going to give him an opportunity to look elsewhere. Of course, a year ago, there were rumors that had Riley going to Southern California to be the new coach there. Very popular with his players. They don't come any nicer.
No. They readjusted the clock, Dick, and put 13:32 on the game clock.
On third down, the screen almost intercepted with his hands on it. Rayleigh Johnson. Johnson, who had a touchdown earlier this year as he scooped up a fumble in Denver and could have gone the distance had he hung on to that one.
Well, look at this pass protection up front. Rodney Harrison comes on a blitz and gets absolutely blown away by John Runyon, the right tackle. Whoa.
Well, the punt team on. Sean Landetta to kick it to Tim Dwight.
I remember Larry Wilson telling me, he made the safety blitz famous. Said, the highlight film showed all those ones where I came in and really got the quarterback. They don't show the ones where I came in there and left as quickly as I came in.
Total rejection.
That's right.
Dwight with a fair catch just shy of the San Diego 15-yard line. No scoring in this second half. The Eagles still lead by 7.
Down and out for your Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't care what stadium you work for, all right? If you want to write a check for who let the dogs out, I'm still going to need to see some ID.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
The all-new 200 horsepower Acura RSX.
Hey.
Hey.
So it's $31.99 a month, right?
Yep. Over 100 channels, all 100% digital quality.
Cool. Upstairs. What are you waiting for? Chop, chop.
Got it.
What? You think I wash cars for free?
Just $31.99 a month gets you over 100 channels of DirecTV programming. Right now with free professional installation.
Okay, sir, you're all signed up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S. Olympus, the most realistic digital images yet. Olympus, nothing's impossible. And by Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Big Sunday doubleheader in the NFL, and tonight on 60 Minutes, September 11th, most talked about crime of the year, but suppose the culprit was also a victim. Confused? Well, watch tonight, 60 Minutes. From the 15, Flutie and the Chargers after a big passing first half, no passing yards the second half, and Tomlinson gains only a yard on first down into the grasp of Hollis Thomas, another free agent out of Northern Illinois. They say he's the team's flashiest dresser, so watch out, Dion. Thomas is in town here in Philadelphia. I don't know if they have a corner named after him yet.
Well, it's 6 feet 306.
He needs a tailor, that's for sure.
He's not a 42 long. Yes, I doubt he has a lot of off-the-rack stuff.
Tomlinson with that yard is over the 1,000-yard mark officially. Actually, +7. Blitz picked up. Flutie throws. Almost intercepted. Mike Caldwell had his mitts on it. The Eagles are true to form in this second half. Their defense really tight.
Yeah, they really are. They have closed down the San Diego passing game, trying to go to Freddie Miller, but you could see to Freddie Jones rather that he's really covered. You know, Doug's trying to go down the middle to Jones, but he's got Troy Vincent all over him. And that's a stiff price to pay for getting a ball. Not only do you get the ball batted back at you, but you get dropped like a stone at the same time.
0 for 4 passing in the second half. 3rd and 9. Goes deep downfield for Graham, but that's going to be intercepted by Troy Vincent at the 46-yard line.
Brian Dawkins is looking at Troy Vincent because Dawkins had already put that interception in the bank. That ball belonged to Dawkins all the way, and Vincent stole it.
His 3rd of the year.
Shelly, listen, it's Greg. I'm at the dentist. Yeah, okay. Shelly, I want to come into work. They don't know what I've got. I have a tooth. Scratching, rashing, 24-hour, like, mumps. What else can I have? I am really sick. Both ears gone. Really bad haircut. I'm in traction.
The Acura MDX with torque managing 4-wheel drive.
I was eating wax fruit this week. No.
Taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
Buy an Olympus D510 or C700 and you get the most realistic digital images yet. And now you can store up to 600 of them free. Get an Olympus Smart Media Card free when you buy either camera. Go to freecard.olympus.com for details. Nothing's impossible. Olympus.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that dude's awesome. Get Selsun Power.
Now anyone can be a digital DJ. With the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Ellen's traveling to CBS Monday.
Let's move it, blockhead!
Kicking off with an all-new episode.
When does this tire scenario ever come up on the football field?
An all-new Ellen Monday.
Attorney Nick Fallon is getting something he never had. Competition.
I'm the associate director, which makes me your boss.
Do me a favor and just shut the hell up.
All new Guardian, CBS Tuesday.
Doug Flutie throwing into that tricky 20-mile-an-hour wind, and it's that circular effect. His 2nd interception thrown today, and Donovan McNabb starts at the Philadelphia 47. Throws underneath, and it's batted away by Orlando Ruff. Let's go back to the interception.
Well, it's a two-part event here. First of all, you get Troy Vincent here on Jeff Graham, and it's just textbook work by Vincent because he stays with his guy and then cuts in front at the last minute on a really poorly thrown ball. But Brian Dawkins, right there, number 20, hasn't had an interception. Look at him. Are you kidding me? He figures he's got his first interception of the season, and Troy Vincent just goes right in front of him and takes it away. He's congratulating him, and I don't think he means it.
Throw underneath, then complete to Freddie Mitchell, who was on his hip, and Rodney Harrison was on his back. Well, you saw that graphic briefly of how successful the Eagle defense has been in the second half. Best in the league. They've allowed an average of only 4.7 points in the second half all season, and they've shut out San Diego today. There it is.
Well, Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator, has really made some nice adjustments, and a lot of it has to do with pressure. We've seen Doug Flutie on the run almost every time that he's gone back to pass. He had much more protection in the first half. The pocket's falling in on him here in half number 2, and the results are too.
McNabb able to get away again and then run toward the sidelines and takes a solid hit from Junior Seau. He has vision in the back of that helmet, though. There are many times today the Chargers seem to have him from behind the blind side, and McNabb with that wonderful quarterback sixth sense to race away from trouble. On comes Landeta to add to his growing NFL record, and Tim Dwight, hoping he has a chance for a return, stands at the 10. Dwight with a touchdown return for the Chargers this year.
Tim Dwight always has a chance.
This one goes all the way into the end zone, and his touchdown there. And the Chargers will finally get a better field position at the 20, but there are flags down back where the ball was punted. Oh, against the Chargers, and that will carry, unless it's a post.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether it's pre or post kick.
A casual stroll by Riley as he waits for the decision. Bernie Kukar now with the information.
Holding 59 of the receiving team during the kick. Since it was a touchback, penalty will be from the 20 to the 10, first down.
Well, Flutie again is back deep in his own end.
That's the key there. If it would have been prior to the kick, Philadelphia would have kept the football.
Chargers still within a touchdown of a tie.
When did you get this? There's the, Yep. Look at the,
There's nothing like a little variable valve timing to get people talking.
What's that, yeah, dipstick.
The Accord V6 from Honda.
In a world of uncertainty, there will always be a need for those proud few who can prove they are a world apart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Mr. Kenny, hi, how are you feeling? The office just got these, and I thought you could use one. It's not just a cell phone, it's Nextel with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio. Look, you just push one button and we're connected. Which means you never have to leave messages. You know, like the one I left you about the elevator being out.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, you get right through.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Honda CR-V, a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices.
Flutie's going to feel like he's got yellow paint on his back. He's pinned in against the goalpost again as Riley arguing the Charger cause after that 10-yard holding penalty. Flutie at the 10. He's had a couple of drives start at the 5. Steps up and away, and then he's hit down hard and falls forward to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a slight loss, and Derek Burgess will get a credit for a full sack on that one. A yard loss.
Well, we've talked about this rookie and how impressive he has been, and again, that's a hustle sack. That's originally being routed out of the way and being past the quarterback, and that's nothing but good effort that results in a sack. That's what makes coaches really love guys. And again, look at the performance of this Philadelphia defense in the second half against the San Diego passing game. Completely smothered.
2nd and 11. Flutie dumps it underneath to Tomlinson. He fumbled the ball, and the Chargers recover. Kendall Jaycox appeared, the center, to fall on Tomlinson's fumble deep. in San Diego territory.
Well, Tomlinson's second fumble of the day, and very fortunate. Take a look. There he is right there, right at the top. There's Tomlinson, and he just has it stripped away by Hollis Thomas. And luckily, Kendall Jaycox is right there to foul on it. So that could have been a game clincher there.
Gain to the 17. It'll be 3rd and 3. Triple left, and then White in motion. Flag down. Flutie fumbles, and the Eagles have it at the 26-yard line. Hollis Thomas fell on the loose ball.
And this almost certainly is going to be holding against San Diego, so it'll be declined.
Holding, 69 offense. Penalty is declined. First down, Philadelphia.
Well, this has been an ugly pattern for the San Diego Chargers. Close in games, close, and then turnovers, fumbles, and interceptions late.
Doug Flutie just launching himself, trying to get the extra yards, throws himself into the air, and Brian Dawkins with the right hand just knocks the football out of there. How many times do you see it? A guy just giving second and third effort trying to make something happen, and that's when he ends up fumbling the football. What a play by Brian Dawkins, and what kind of a game has he had?
He really has, and he underlines the strength of this Eagle defense that has lost only one fumble in its last 8 games. The Eagles, only one they've coughed up, and they've recovered 12.
Well, Dawkins causes that fumble. He returned a LaDainian Tomlinson fumble for a touchdown. So I'd say that Brian Dawkins is having a pretty good afternoon. And he almost had an interception if Troy Vincent wouldn't have stolen it from him.
That's right. That's why he made the Pro Bowl last year. McNabb throws back underneath to his tight end, and it's Chad Lewis with another catch. Junior Seau the tackle. Well, it isn't lack of effort by Flutie. He's got a couple of interceptions and now that fumble, but it's because he's trying to do so much on his own, having to scramble for his life, trying to get yardage. It's frustrating for him, wearing the deep frown of this experience today, and Tomlinson having his eye looked at. 2nd and 2. It's a diving catch by Fred McNeil. No, they're going to wave it off. Now McNeil has been so close to a couple of catches today.
Well, let's take a look at it one more time. Well, it's right out of our screen, but Freddie Mitchell going down there trying to dig it out there. Pretty apparent that it one hops right off the turf.
Well, it's a pretty ball thrown by McNabb, though, isn't it? Beautiful tight spiral. Little low. 3rd and 2. 9 minutes, 8 seconds left. Plenty of time, but the Eagles now in a position to at least capitalize with a field goal, although McNabb calls time now because he wants more. Reminder, next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 1994 Olympic gold medalist Tommy Moe and 1998 Olympic champion John Shea at the Jeep King of the Mountain Downhill Series. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. And next Saturday is a busy day on CBS. These Chargers will be hosting the Oakland Raiders in a 4 o'clock Eastern game, 1 o'clock in the West. And of course, coming up the second half of our doubleheader, and there are the 2 games you'll be enjoying. Jets, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Oakland. You're seeing some the 2 home teams, 2 of the better records in the NFL. And the Eagles, a 2-game leader in first place in the NFC East with a 7-point lead deep in San Diego territory. McNabb throws quickly to Mitchell, and he's dropped at the 20-yard line by Junior Seau. Make that Cecil Martin out of the backfield with a catch. So the field goal unit sent on the field by Andy Reid, and young David Akers, the left-footed kicker, all he has done the last 2 years, tried 55 field goals and missed only 6. He's got 13 in a row currently. 27-yard attempt. The wind, and he cuts it in there. And Akers' successful field goal kicking continues. A new Eagle team record, 14 in a row, and that gives Philly a 10-point edge. Oh, Akers just nearly perfect, and what a valued player he is on this team. He did his collegiate kicking at Louisville and celebrates his 27th birthday today with a 3-pointer.
Well, unfortunately for San Diego, on the road, turnovers are disastrous. Tomlinson gets it started, and Dawkins finished that off with a touchdown. Then it's an interception thrown to Bobby Taylor. That time Troy Vincent comes in with the interceptions, and then Doug Flutie adds a fumble to the list of bad things that have happened to the Chargers here today. They really have played in a lot of other areas of this game well enough to win. But 4 turnovers on the road, awfully tough to overcome. And they find themselves now trailing by 10, but still, you know, 8.5 minutes left in this football game. Hardly a time to throw in the towel.
10-point difference on the 2 fumbles. The fumble returned. Tomlinson's fumble by Dawkins for a touchdown, and on this fumble develops into the 3-point Baker field goal. Ronnie Jenkins. And he's tackled after just barely getting it into high gear at the 23-yard line by Correll Buckholder, backup running back. The flag is down way back where the Eagles kicked the ball. They may have been offside. Yes. They'll do it again. Andy Reid played at Brigham Young University, an offensive lineman. Not a lot of linemen go on to be head coaches.
On the kicking team, number 28. That's a 5-yard penalty re-kick.
Beg your pardon.
Well, I'm just tickling your memory there.
Beg your
well, Vince Lombardi. I'll give you a Lombardi.
How about a guy named Forrest Gregg?
Forrest Gregg.
John Madden.
John Madden.
I'm going to keep right on going. Andy Reid.
And but I mean, relatively.
Dave Wanstead.
Dave Wanstead.
He was an offensive tackle at Pittsburgh.
Right, the University of Pittsburgh. You're right.
I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit now.
But you would have to give me the fact that.
Yes, I will.
That it seems fairly rare.
Art Shell, Hall of Fame tackle. But I would agree with you.
That's good, though. You brought those names out. I'm glad that we mentioned them.
Thank you very much. Don Shula, winningest coach of all time.
Defensive back. Come on.
I thought maybe I'd run out.
Yeah, George Halas was going to be next. I know.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that. Don Shula played a DB, and as slow as he was, he got into coaching in a hurry.
So they're going to kick it over from the 25-yard line. Sorry I brought that up. Akers, Trevor Gaylor, and Jenkins. And Jenkins has trouble. Does it hit him? No. Goes out of bounds anyway, so it'll be
back up to the 40 again.
Actually, this will go to the 45-yard line because they kicked off from the 25.
Ah, good call there, Dick. Very good.
Really good. They're really a big penalty.
I think we're one football short here. Did I see someone abscond with that ball there?
It's down right where there's a low railing at Veterans Stadium where it's accessible for an eager fan to make a little dash about 3 steps right in that corner. Somebody
there goes the ball. Okay, we can clearly see no contact. Oh, man, I'm out of here.
He extracted that one. So from the 45, trailing by 10. Into the flat, complete to Tomlinson. No gain. Stuffed by Brian Dawkins and Mike Caldwell. Well, the AFC West, the Chargers out of the gates with a 5-2 start, but with the 5 straight losses, dropping down with Kansas City. The Raiders lost last week, but still hold a 2-game edge over Seattle. That Seattle-Denver game later tonight will decide who goes on with higher hopes at Mile High Stadium.
Well, we've seen 9 and 7 teams make it into the playoffs before, but at 8 and 8, realistically, the Chargers' playoff hopes are gone. And so you wonder what changes for the team lie in store if by chance they go on and lose this game. And again, I want to reiterate, 7 minutes, 26 seconds, 10 points, and Doug Flutie, this game is still very much in question. Chargers more than capable of winning this football game.
Tim Dwight, the target of that bullet from Flutie, but it did not arrive on target, and it's 3rd and 10. Graham, who has 2 touchdown passes to the left, Conway to the right, and Dwight in the slot right. Here come the Eagles showing blitz. And Flutie just has to throw it away.
And that's going to be intentional grounding, Dick. I don't think Doug Flutie was out of the pocket. He was not beyond that tight end to tight end box.
So they lose the yardage and the down. And so it'll come back to the spot where he threw the ball.
It's still a punting situation for San Diego. You've got to get outside that pocket. You can see they took the snap right on the hash mark, and he was not even close to being far enough away to get away with a throw like that.
And you saw who he had to throw over. Bobby Taylor, the cornerback, was one of those on the blitz. Now Brian Mitchell back at the 25-yard line. Mitchell needs 34 more yards to get 20,000, but won't get anything on this one as the ball kicks to the sidelines and out of bounds, and another flag is down. Again, San Diego face mask. Zeke Moreno was the Charger involved on the play. Personal foul. Either go back and kick it again, or you can go down there, says Mr. Kukar.
Well, this flag came out almost at the end of the play. We've got somebody down on the field here in front of the Philadelphia bench.
Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask, number 57 of the kicking team. Will assess the 15-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Now keep in mind the football went out of bounds on the far side of the field. So you couldn't be any farther away. Oh, it's an official. You can see one of the sideline workers trying to get out of the way, and he is clipped. Ronnie Jenkins, the Charger. Boy, what a hit he took.
You see the Eagles, all in full support of the official, and I see Troy Vincent in there saying, "Way to hang in there."
Well, you can tell that is not an overly young man. And what a hit he took, and keep in mind he's wearing no equipment whatsoever.
Now Bennett will have to kick again after the 15-yard penalty, and he'll deliver this from about his 5, with Mitchell moving up to the 42-yard line. Great return possibility here.
Bennett did a good job of kicking it out of bounds last time.
Drills this one high. Mitchell eludes the first man down. And Moreno, against whom that last penalty was called, makes the tackle, along with Dion Humphrey. Final in Dallas, and the Cowboys at home beat the Giants 20-13. So the Eagles, who look at the Giants as their #1 rival in the NFC East, will be pleased with that result.
Boy, and the New York Giants, NFC champions a year ago, now at 5-7. What a disappointing turn of events that has to be for Jim Fassel and his club.
Cowboys, the record isn't that good. They're playing good ball week after week. Deuce Staley gets 3 up the middle and tackled by Seau and Leonardo Carson. Let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, for his mobile quarterback as Donovan McNabb is at times he's drawn comparisons to Brett Favre in Green Bay, who Andy Reid also coached while he was with the Packers. And he said now Favre was a little more wild off the field initially, but personality-wise, he said the two were so alike, and they've both really grown into their leadership roles.
Yeah, that's a good insight, Bonnie, that they both have a great sense of humor. And no grounding call there is in the grasp of Leonardo Carson. McNabb gets rid of the ball, throws it short. As Carson, the young defensive tackle from Auburn, continues to play well. The Chargers lost early in the year 2 men at that position. Jamal Williams, their starter last year, and then they picked up Ma Tanuvasa, the former Bronco, and he had a leg broken during the course of the year. So Carson's done a good job filling in that spot. 3rd and 7. McNabb steps up, but then is caught on the backside by Carson again, Leonardo Carson, and that's shy of the first down, and the punt team on for the Eagles with 6 minutes and change remaining.
Sean Landeta may put this record out of reach just during the course of this game, but that's pretty smart by Donovan. Be smart. Be smart. Don't put it up for grabs. You've got a 10-point lead, and we're seeing the NFL official being taken up to the locker room to be examined by the medical staff, and we hope he's all right.
Appears to be okay.
Yeah, well, he's obviously shaken. That was a big hit.
Tim Dwight awaits Landeta's punt. Rolls it long, and Dwight's going to field it at the 2. And is crunched down at the 11-yard line, and another flag. Yeah, this game grinding toward its conclusion with flags and other added activities. The clock stops once again with 5:30 left. Holding against San Diego.
2 of the league's better special teams units going at each other here this afternoon. San Diego and Philadelphia, both in the upper echelons of the league.
33 of the return team during the run back, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Davis Sanchez with the hold.
Davis Sanchez is number 33. There he is at the top of the screen, and the official on the far side calls him for getting his hands out around the shoulders and using them to hold the guy up.
Well, Flutie again starts from the 3-yard line. He's been inside the 10 on 4 possessions the second half. From his own end zone, hit as he throws, complete to Freddie Jones. Breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, and drags the tackler out to the 39-yard line.
Boy, did Doug Flutie pay a price for that completion to Freddie Jones. He is whacked big time back in his end zone. Just watch how this collapse. It's coming in from the other side. Here comes Hugh Douglas, and Doug never sees him coming. And not only does Douglas fall on him, but his left tackle, Damian McIntosh, ends up on top of him too. Now that is not a design pattern. You do not have 2 guys running shoulder to shoulder the way Freddie Jones and Tim Dwight were right there. That's where an accident worked out all right.
First big gainer passing for Flutie, and he goes right back to his tight end Jones. And Jones is inside the 45 to the 41 of the Eagles with the clock running at 4:35.
All right, now is where the guys in the Philadelphia huddle better start getting a little urgency about themselves right now. We saw Doug Flutie do this right before the end of the first half. Take the Chargers down for a surprisingly easy touchdown drive.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Flutie fires and hits Tim Dwight. Another first down at inside the 30-yard line.
Boy, this looks an awful lot like that drive.
Doesn't it?
The first half. There's a lot of big cushions are being given by the Philadelphia defense. They're letting everything happen in front of them. They're just letting it happen too far in front of them.
3:46, 3:45. First down at the Philadelphia 29. Chargers trail by 10. Flutie, no one open. So he scrambles for the sidelines, can't get out of bounds. Mike Caldwell wraps him up at about the 23. To follow the Jets, Pittsburgh, Kansas City at Oakland. Stay tuned. This game inordinately long in duration, but we'll switch you to the other action soon as we hear the final gun. 304 yards now passing for Flutie, one of his better career games. 7th time he's been over 300 in his career.
A couple of really good games coming on. I want to see Curtis Martin try to run against that Pittsburgh defense. That'll be worth a look. Strength against strength.
Flutie underneath, incomplete to Dwight, and well covered by Bobby Taylor. 3rd down and a long 3. Tonight on CBS, it starts with 60 Minutes. September 11th. Really interesting angle there. I suppose the culprit was also a victim. Confused? You'll watch 60 Minutes tonight. Then Academy Award winner Richard Dreyfuss stars in an all-new Education of Max Bickford, followed by the story of a beautiful stranger. That's the 7th stream tonight on CBS. Draw, and Flutie dives for a first down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Clock running. Remember, 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning remaining for the Chargers.
A design play all the way, and excellent blocks by Vaughn Parker at right tackle, who turned his guy out. Domingo Graham at right guard, who turned his guy in. And the rest of it, the magic feet of Doug Flutie.
That's the 2nd timeout spent by San Diego. Flutie with 46 yards rushing and 304 yards passing. A rather tidy total of 350 his effort today.
It's just how much of it came in half number 1 and how little of it has come in half number 2. This drive that we're looking at right now, one of the few success stories for the Chargers here in the second half. Doug had what, 226 or something like that at halftime?
221 or 226? 229.
229 at halftime. So that's an amazing first half in the passing game. But the Eagles, give them credit. They shut it down here in the second half.
As they've done all season long. Tomlinson in motion to the outside. And they throw underneath to Dwight. Shirt tail down at about the 13-yard line by Bobby Taylor,
who did a good job of keeping Tim Dwight in bounds. Tim was going to try to hit for the sidelines and get out, but not so. Bobby Taylor, a big guy, kept him in.
Only 3 yards on the pass play. Show blitz. Here they come. Flutie throws. Almost intercepted, and that would have been for 6 by 31 Al Harris, who is considered their 5th starter at defensive back. He's in his 4th year from A&M Kingsville. And an injured Eagle on the play.
Again, let's take a look, and it's just a quick delivery. And Al Harris makes a good break on the football, anticipating this route all the way. Not really close to intercepting it, but he made a relatively tidy little play on it.
The injured Eagle is Paul Grosmanis, Notre Dame defensive tackle, and he was speculated, and they're looking at the knee. He has an Achilles problem. They didn't know if he was able to go today, but has played, and they're checking that left knee. .205 remaining. Eagles with that 10-point lead, and the Chargers trying to strike here and hope that they can get an onside kick opportunity.
Well, anybody who's ever had a knee injury knows that that's the movements that the doctors put your lower leg through to try to determine what kind of damage has been done to the knee joint itself. .96 is Grosmanis, who His leg was caught awkwardly on the turf, and
now Grosmanis, part of the Eagle defense that has quite a record going. They 27 consecutive games they've allowed 24 points or less. That's the longest streak in the NFL, being that stingy on defense since the Vikings in 73-75. So Philadelphia, you better be ready to hold them on with your defense, because they're not going to give you many points. 14 is all San Diego's managed as Grosmanis has helped off the field. Corey Simon playing at that position with a shoulder injury. He's out. That happened earlier in this half, and now Grosmanis his replacement. In case you're just joining us, second game of our doubleheader. Standing by, Jets Pittsburgh and Kansas City Oakland. At the conclusion of this game in Philadelphia, we'll be switching you to one of those two sites. Ball at the 14. 2:05 left in this fourth quarter, and the Chargers trying to strike for a touchdown that would pull them within 3. Jumping offside, Domingo Graham with a false start.
False start. 71 offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So it'll be 3rd and 12.
Been a long game, but you've got to maintain focus. And that's just really all that is. Concentration, focus. The crowd noise, a lot of the crowd here at the Vet has already gotten an early start for home. It wasn't hardly a deafening din. There's a lot at stake here. You just got to stay tuned. Tune into your quarterback's voice, his voice only.
Out from the 19. Flutie fires and well short of Jeff Graham. It'll be 4th down, and on comes the field goal unit. Mike Riley figuring you're going to have to get a field goal and a touchdown. Take the field goal with 4th down and long. And Steve Christie, who just signed, with Wade Ritchie having some difficulties with the shorter field goals that frustrated the Chargers and some close losses in this 5-game losing streak. So Christie signed a week ago. 1-for-1 last week against Seattle. He missed the first and he misses the second. He hit the upright, right upright with his first try today, and he's well hooking left. And the field goal tries for San Diego have been a miss.
Snowball is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings. Handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price. Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No.
But I want to get it for my brother.
Get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No. Weeping.
It's okay. We found you someone else.
Oh.
Get more for less at Staples.
Let's go.
Is that supposed to be fun?
Introducing a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. The all-new, more powerful CR-V from Honda.
Tonight, on the Discovery Channel, you've never seen us, never heard of us. It's time we met. Just don't turn your back. After the dinosaurs, our world had strange beasts you've never seen. Discover them on the only network that could bring them back to life. Walking with Prehistoric Beasts. Premiering tonight at 7 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
Hi, do you know us? We're Kevin and Drew from The Amazing Race. Okay, we didn't win the $1 million. But we know who did. It was... Are you a friggin' idiot? You can't tell them who won. They'll have to tune in to Thursday night's episode, right after Survivor.
One night, one winner, $1 million. The Amazing Race finale, CBS Thursday, right after Survivor.
Survivor? You think they take 2?
The longtime veteran kicker Steve Christie misses from 37, missed from 34 earlier, and the Eagles take a deep breath. Their 10-point lead should boost them another game in front of the NFC East.
And they've got a tough closing 4 games. They've got games, against Washington, against the Giants, against Tampa, against San Francisco. It was very important that they not stumble against San Diego. And talking to some of their players, saying this is how they're going to measure us. Good teams beat teams that are struggling, and that's what the Eagles have done today. And there's that close that I mentioned. That's a tough 4-game stretch for the Eagles.
Improved Redskins, then going out to San Francisco and at Tampa Bay. But the one thing about the Andy Reid's teams, they have been perfect on the road. They're 5-0 on the road. As we mentioned at the start of our game today, 2-4 at home, and that's had a lot of folks shaking their head, including Andy Reid. But they're going to come away with a win today and raise their record to 8-4 on the season. And there are a lot of things coaches won't talk about it at this stage. It's too early, but they think about it in their private quarters with their assistant coaches, and that is home field advantage in the playoffs. You need every win. Protect the chance of being able to play at home. Staley just protecting the ball, and the Chargers have used their timeouts.
Well, with the performance of the Rams today beating the 49ers, the Rams have the leg up on home field advantage. Of course,
all the way,
yeah, and the Chicago Bears are still in it. It's between the Rams, the Bears, and the 49ers. Andy Reid knows that his ball club is going to have to go someplace to win the conference championship game and probably a divisional playoff game to get to the Super Bowl. But having said that, how confident must they be the way this team is playing on the road?
Yeah, they're playing the way the old 49ers of Bill Walsh. What home field advantage? Staley battles his way out to the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and 2. And Eagles will chew up as much of the remaining time. 50 seconds left before they punt the ball. Well, the Chargers on the road have had a dismal record. This will be their 13th loss in their last 14 road games.
Dismal was a pretty good choice of words.
And it'll be a long flight home to America's finest city, San Diego, as they say when you land there.
Spoken like a true resident.
That's right. True area resident. 6 straight losses, and hopes were so high with that wonderful start in San Diego when they opened the season 5-2. Let's open up New York. What's there?
All right, opening drive for the Chiefs, Dick, and it's Priest Holmes. He drove him down the field almost single-handedly. Great piece of running here. Holmes in the end zone. 7-0 Chiefs at Oakland. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Boy, when you see Priest to Holmes like that, thank you, Jim, you wonder, if you were a Baltimore Raven fan, you see the way he's playing and how much they've needed that kind of running talent this year. How good would they be if he'd stayed in Baltimore?
Yeah, if they only would have known that Jamal Lewis was going to get hurt. You're right, they could have certainly used Priest Holmes, but give the Chiefs credit, they were smart enough to recognize talent when they saw it.
Tim Dwight fields it at the 15. Reverses. Looks for a block. Gets to the 30 and the 34-yard line with 6 seconds remaining. Final score, Tampa Bay beats Detroit 15-12. Boy, the Chargers and the Lions can commiserate that Detroit plays well week after week after week and just can't seem to squeeze out that first victory.
And I saw that Detroit was leading in the 4th quarter. They just can't seem to finish it off. Matt Millen is I can't imagine the anguish that he's in and that entire Lion organization. Winless in December.
Final play of the game probably, and Doug Flutie just takes a knee. So let's get out of here. Enough's enough. The Philadelphia Eagles have defeated the San Diego Chargers 24-14, strengthening their hold First place in the NFC East. Andy Reid's team, especially defense, especially again in the second half. Very impressive. The Jets, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Oakland, they're underway. We'll switch you immediately to those games. For Dan Dierdorf and Bonnie Bernstein, this is Dick Enberg. Thank you for being with us from Philadelphia, where the Eagles are victorious 24-14.